Chapter 41. Chapter 41. Fighting a third-grade master. Lu Ming, be careful. Feng Wu's expression shifted as she cried out. Yuan Lang's cultivation had reached the third-grade master realm and was not something a first-grade master could compare against. She was afraid that Lu Ming was no match for him. Flame Dragon Fist. Neither did Lu Ming dodge nor back down. He delivered a punch instead. Bam! As Lu Ming's fist and Yuan Lang's clawed hand collided, energy surged in all directions. Both of their figures glowed and they fell back 3 steps. In that exchange of blows, they were evenly matched. A third-grade master is powerful indeed. Lu Ming's eyes gleamed as he thought to himself. With a massive gap between each level, the master realm was difficult to surmount. It was not something the warrior realm could rival. For instance, back when Lu Ming was on the 6th-grade warrior realm, boosted by 3 divine meridians, his true war dragon chi was twice as condensed as ordinary essential chi. In addition to his refined martial arts, he could rise above 3 levels and battle against 9th-grade warriors. However, in the master realm, this was not possible. The additional power of the 3 divine meridians was still rather obvious on the warrior realm. Nonetheless, in the master realm, this power did not appear to be as useful. The main function of a divine meridian was exhibited through one's talent and potential instead of one's direct physical strength. Therefore, now that Lu Ming's cultivation was at 2nd-grade master realm, based on his own essential chi, he could rise above 1 level at most to battle against a 3rd-grade master. With his refined martial arts, suppressing or even killing a 3rd-grade master was not a problem. However, he would be in trouble if he encountered a 4th-grade master. Of course, this was assuming that Lu Ming's blood meridian had not exploded. When both of them drew back, the people around them were startled. Feng Wu was delighted. She never thought that Lu Ming could actually exchange equal blows with Yuan Lang. Just how strong is Lu Ming really? He must have been hiding his strength, yet Big Sis Mulan asked me to protect him? It's more like he should protect me. Feng Wu thought to herself, somewhat flabbergasted. By one side, Yin Kai and the rest were gripped by surprise. They had never heard of Lu Ming before. Where did he come from? He had such a formidable cultivation level. Yuan Lang's expression darkened, twisted by a murderous desire. He roared, Lu Ming, take this, 18 hawk claws. Zing zing. Yuan Lang's hands drew something out from his waist. In an instant he was wearing metal gloves. His clawed hands struck out rapidly and in succession, hitting 9 times in a flash. The 9 claw attacks targeted the 9 vital points of Lu Ming's body. Driven by essential chi, the sharp metal gloves sliced through the air, whistling piercingly as they did so. That's a superior yellow-level martial arts technique. Too bad his cultivation is lackluster. He's barely broken through to the 3rd stage. A cold smile tugged at Lu Ming's lips, then he unsheathed his long sword and wielded the lustrous sword technique. Zing zing. The blades of sword light whipped through the air as Lu Ming slashed Tullivier times in an instant. Clink, clink. The long sword and the metal gloves collided time and again as the 2 figures crossed each other midair. At last, the sounds suddenly stopped as they separated. Suddenly, Yuan Lang's body shuddered and he spat a mouthful of blood out. Defeated, a wound had appeared over his chest, deep enough to reveal his bone. If Lu Ming had not restrained his own strength at that crucial moment, Yuan Lang would have been dead. You can scram now. Lu Ming cast an indifferent look at Yuan Lang, then started to walk forward. Clang, clang. Weapons were unsheathed successively. Following that, a girl dressed in white cried out, Lu Ming, there are so many of us here with senior brother Yin Kai. Did you think that you can leave? Yin Kai, what are you doing? All of you are really going to stop us? Feng Wu said with an unhappy look. Yin Kai stared at Lu Ming gloomily without speaking. You may try and see if you can stop me, but I guarantee that the subsequent losses aren't something you can endure. Lu Ming lifted the long sword with a placid gaze which contained an unflinching will. His icy voice caused them to shiver involuntarily deep in their hearts. Yin Kai stared at Lu Ming for a long while. His eyes flashed brightly and he suddenly laughed. "Ha, this is all a misunderstanding. Junior brother Lu Ming, you are impressive indeed. I've learned so much from this. I hope that we can be friends in the future. Senior sister Feng, let's go." Lu Ming did not even glance at Yin Kai as he turned to leave. "Lu Ming, I was careless this time. Next time, you'll pay for my disgrace today many times over." Yuan Lang's cold voice rang out from behind them. "Next time? You'd better wish that there's no next time," Lu Ming said casually. After that, he and Feng Wu vanished into the mountain woods. After both of them left, the white-clothed girl asked Yin Kai, "Senior brother Yin, are we letting them go just like that? Lu Ming possesses great fighting powers. Moreover, our main target now is to compete against 3 other halls for the 500-point medal piece. We mustn't lose any manpower. After this test is over, I'll have a plan to deal with him. I'll make him sorry." As Yin Kai glared at the direction in which Lu Ming and Feng Wu had left, his eyes glittered dangerously. 1,000 meters away. "Junior brother Lu Ming, Yin Kai is a petty person. After you've insulted him like that, he won't forgive you so easily," Feng Wu expressed somewhat worriedly. "He'd better not come looking for trouble with me." Lu Ming smiled faintly. He was not fazed about someone like Yin Kai. Feng Wu's pretty eyes shimmered. Although she had known Lu Ming for quite some time, she realized that she could not figure him out completely. From her point of view, he seemed unfathomable. "Lu Ming, what will you do next?" she asked. "What should I do next? I don't wish to miss out on the 500-point medal piece." A smirk flitted over Lu Ming's lips. Feng Wu widened her eyes as she exclaimed, "Are you thinking of snatching it from the jaws of danger?" "Why not?" With a grin, Lu Ming then climbed up a tree that was over 20 meters tall. From this distance, he watched Yin Kai and the rest. He was going to track Yin Kai's group and snatch the 500-point medal piece from them. "This guy sure is interesting." Feng Wu looked at him, then climbed the tree and sat on the branch as well. The darkness dissipated, and the light of dawn emerged over the horizon. Far away, Yin Kai and the rest had extinguished their bonfire and were heading into the depths of the midnight hills. Lu Ming and Feng Wu followed them from a distance. They traveled for more than 10 kilometers. After that, Yin Kai's group stopped below a large mountain. Beneath this peak was a gigantic cave. It was terrifyingly pitch black inside. A crowd of over 100 people had already gathered before the cave. "Those from the White Tiger Hall and the Azure Dragon Hall have arrived," Feng Wu said softly to Lu Ming. Lu Ming nodded. "Lu Ming, if you fight later, there are a few people you must be wary of." Feng Wu pointed to a youth who was wearing white robes with green embroidered sleeves and a purple jade belt. "That guy is Duanmuju. He's the strongest amongst the new batch in the White Tiger Hall." After that, she pointed at another youth in green robes. "That one's called Huang Yu. He's the foremost expert amongst the Azure Dragon's new apprentices." Lu Ming made a soft, affirmative sound again. Feng Wu rolled her eyes. Surely he was being too calm. These were all top geniuses who were strong contenders for this year's apprentice champion. Chapter 42. Chapter 42, The Mutated Black-Scaled Monitor Lizard. In an absent-minded manner, Feng Wu started snorting softly as she pouted slightly. Without warning, Lu Ming was whispering by her ear, "You've so much to say. Do you care for me that much?" Feng Wu was caught off guard and started in fright, nearly crying out loud. Her small face blushed furiously as she shot Lu Ming a vicious glare. "What nonsense is that? Who cares for you? If it weren't for Bis Sis Mulan's order, if it weren't for you rescuing me, I wouldn't have given 2 shits about you." "Oh, so that's how it is." Lu Ming clicked his tongue and looked away. "Phew." Feng Wu let out a gentle sigh. Even so, for some reason, her heart would not stop racing. In a short while, another group arrived. These were the apprentices of the Onyx Tortoise Hall. The four halls were all here. Lu Ming and Feng Wu held their breaths as they stared ahead. After a moment, the apprentices of the four halls placed one Coelaviride rabbit after another at the cave's entrance. Then, they all scattered and took up hiding spots nearby. There were over 50 Coelaviride rabbits at east. The Coelaviride rabbits were all filled up with drowsy powder. The smell of the rabbits charged the air. Rustle. In a while, a monitor lizard, which was 1/2 meter tall and 4 meters long, came clambering out. It was covered in black scales. This was a black-scaled monitor lizard. Nevertheless, it was evidently just an ordinary black-scaled monitor lizard, which was equivalent to a second-grade second-level demonic beast. It was not a mutated black-scaled monitor lizard that was on the 9th-grade second level. The black-scaled monitor lizard spotted the Coelaviride rabbits the moment it crawled out. It hurriedly scampered forwards and swallowed a Coelaviride rabbit in a single gulp with great relish. Rustle. At this point, another black-scaled monitor lizard came out as well. It was not a mutated black-scaled monitor lizard either. Soon, a few black-scaled monitor lizards clambered out one after another. In a few moments, they had swallowed 10 or so Coelaviride rabbits. The apprentices of the four halls were rather anxious. They had spent several days just to capture these Coelaviride rabbits. If these ordinary black-scaled monitor lizards ate them all, the apprentices would not have a second chance. Currently, there were only 2 days left until the end of the test. They had no time to capture that many Coelaviride rabbits again. Furthermore, they did not have enough drowsy powder with them. Just then, roar! A thunderous cry echoed from the cave. Following that, there was continuous thumping as a colossal creature emerged. This was a black-scaled monitor lizard as well, but its size was 10 times that of the others. Moreover, its eyes were red. A metal piece that hung around this black-scaled monitor lizard's neck proclaimed 2 words, 500. The 500-point metal piece. Everyone's gazes shone fervently. Roar! Upon noticing the Coelaviride rabbits, the mutated black-scaled monitor lizard unleashed a loud howl. Rustle. The other black-scaled monitor lizards seemed frightened and they all retreated. The mutated black-scaled monitor lizard forged ahead by itself and opened its grisly jaws. In one gulp, it devoured 5 or 6 Coelaviride rabbits. After a few minutes, almost 40 Coelaviride rabbits were swallowed by the mutated black-scaled monitor lizard. It roared once more, then turned around, slowly slinking back into the cave. Rustle. At this point, the regular black-scaled monitor lizards, which had eaten the Coelaviride rabbits first, swayed slightly before falling to the ground and snoring in deep slumber. The drowsy powder in the Coelaviride rabbits within their stomachs was taking effect. The apprentices of the four halls did not rush into the cave as they waited for the medicine to work. The mutated black-scaled monitor lizard would not be knocked out as easily as the ordinary black-scaled monitor lizards. Only after 10 minutes had passed did the apprentices all race into the cave. After a few more minutes, Feng Wu asked Lu Ming, "Are we going in too?" "I'm going in. Wait here for me." Lu Ming nodded before explaining further, "Things might get messy in there. If I'm alone, it'll be easier to escape." She bit her lip, aware that he was right. "All right, you must be careful then," she said. Lu Ming nodded, then his figure darted off as he went into the cave. Outside the cave, there were still apprentices from the four halls whose cultivation levels were not that high. Even so, no one dared to stop Lu Ming. Since the other apprentices were inside as well, who would bother stopping him? Lu Ming made his way into the cave without any trouble. It was pitch dark in the cave. Although Lu Ming was a master realm martial artist, with much better eyesight than ordinary people, the cave was dim and gloomy to him as well. Lu Ming held his breath and cautiously made his way forward. However, after 100 meters, there were a few forks in the path. He even noticed a black-scaled monitor lizard's body there. This was merely a first-level black-scaled monitor lizard, so Lu Ming had no interest in absorbing its blood essence. Thus, he simply chose a path and continued onward. In this lair of the black-scaled monitor lizards, the paths weaved in all directions, intersecting in complicated ways. Lu Ming traveled a few hundred meters before encountering another crossroads. Once again, he picked a path at random and went in deeper. On the way, he saw quite a few black-scaled monitor lizard bodies. There were 2 first-grade and 1 second-grade second-level black-scaled monitor lizards. Lu Ming did not pass them up and devoured all of their blood essences. As he walked, he cultivated the blood essence. His cultivation was rapidly improving. It was clear that apprentices of the 4 halls had numbers on their side. Throughout his journey, he did not see any corpses of the apprentices. In this manner, Lu Ming went forth for around 20 minutes, devouring 3 first-grade and 1 second-grade second-level black-scaled monitor lizards on his way. His cultivation successfully reached mid-second-grade master realm. Just then, Lu Ming noticed a faint source of light up ahead. He trotted lightly as he headed towards the light. Upon approaching it, he discovered it was another cave entrance that was lower than an average person's height. He walked forward and looked out of the entrance and was taken aback. Outside this entrance, there was an enormous underground cavern. It was over 100 meters wide and dozens of meters tall. Everywhere on the stone walls of the cavern were rocks that glowed with a faint light. These were the luminous stone ores. If one extracted the glowing components of these ores, it could be used to manufacture luminous stones which could be used for illumination. With the light of the luminous stone ores, Lu Ming saw many entrances throughout the cavern as well. Through the entrances, he could vaguely make out human figures. Quite a few men from the 4 halls were lying in wait outside these entrances. As for the entrance that Lu Ming was next to, it was more than 10 meters above the cavern's ground surface. In the center of the cavern, a colossal creature lay sprawled. It was that mutated black-scaled monitor lizard. At present, the black-scaled monitor lizard had not fallen into a deep sleep yet. It growled softly and opened its bloody mouth from time to time. No wonder the apprentices of the 4 halls had not made their move. They were waiting for the mutated black-scaled monitor lizard to sink into slumber. The mutated black-scaled monitor lizard was a 9th-grade second-level demonic beast which was equivalent to a 9th-grade master realm powerhouse. Any martial artist below the 4th-grade master realm would definitely die if they were struck by it even once. Time trickled by slowly. After 10 or so minutes, the eyelids of the mutated black-scaled monitor lizard grew heavier. It was dropping off but was not fully asleep yet. The mutated black-scaled monitor lizard's resistance was fearsome. Even after eating so many coelaviride rabbits, it could still hold on until now. Swoosh! Just then, a figure bolted out from one of the cave entrances like lightning, lunging towards the black-scaled monitor lizard's neck. In Kai. Lu Ming's eyes sparkled. That figure was actually In Kai. Chapter 43. Chapter 43, Making His Move. Swoosh! In Kai was very swift. His blood meridian was a 5th-level blood meridian, also known as the green-winged nighthawk, which excelled in speed. He had made his blood meridian explode and was quick as lightning. No wonder he dared to make a move even before the mutated black-scaled monitor lizard had fully fallen asleep. In Kai's figure flashed a few times, and he was already beneath the mutated black-scaled monitor lizard's neck. He reached out, seized the point-worthy metal piece, and tugged at it forcefully. The metal chain that bound the metal piece soon broke. Roar! The jerking motion seemed to aggravate the mutated black-scaled monitor lizard. It growled and swiped a massive claw towards In Kai. In Kai's body glowed suddenly and he evaded its attack. After its blow missed its target, the black-scaled monitor lizard seemed dizzy. With a low snarl, it did not give chase. The 500 points are mine. This year, I'll definitely be the apprentice champion. Seeing that the black-scaled monitor lizard did not pursue him, In Kai was filled with glee. He was on the verge of bursting out in joyful laughter. In Kai let go of the metal piece. At this moment, from the entrances around the cavern, one figure after another lunged forward. They were the experts of the 4 halls. Amongst them were the number 1 experts of the other 3 halls, Duanmu Ju, Huang Yu, and Xie Hong. Now that I've gotten it, you guys plan to snatch it from me? Dream on. Yin Kai laughed coldly. As he waved his arms, there was a vague impression of green wings flashing by. Whoosh! A fierce gale was stirred up. Yin Kai rose over 10 meters into the air and flew towards an entrance that was high above him. Yin Kai had planned it all out. With the advantage of his blood meridian, he would snatch the point-worthy metal piece, lure out the experts from the 3 other halls, then leap up into an entrance 10 meters above their heads to escape. Those tunnels were tangled and complicated. If he fled into one of them, the others could forget about tracking him down. His plan was good. Nonetheless, Lu Ming just so happened to be waiting in that direction. Therefore, without a second thought, Lu Ming leaped down and slashed his sword towards Yin Kai. At Lu Ming's sudden appearance, Yin Kai yelped in shock and quickly drew his sword up. Lu Ming? Scram! Clang! The 2 swords clashed, sending out a burst of energy. Yin Kai's cultivation was on the 4th grade master realm, so he had significant strength. Lu Ming was swept upwards by a large impact, but since he was attacking from the high ground and was not that weak either, Yin Kai immediately dropped down from the attack. At this point, Duanmu Ju, Huang Yu, and the rest hurried over. Yin Kai, hand over the metal piece, or you won't get out alive. Duanmu Ju coldly huffed, his eyes burning lethally. Formidable attacks instantly rained down upon Yin Kai. Lu Ming, I won't rest until you're dead. Yin Kai bellowed in fury. Save your own skin first. Lu Ming landed by one side and smiled breezily. Hand over the 500-point metal piece. Duanmu Ju, Huang Yu, Xie Hong were all 4th grade masters. There were also other experts at 3rd grade master realm. Yin Kai could not hold on to the metal piece at all. All of the attacks were directed at the 500-point metal piece he was holding. If he did not let go, his hand would be crushed. Helplessly, he released his grip. The metal piece is mine. Get away. Huang Yu, you dare to act against the Duanmu family. Duanmu Ju yelled a few times. Duanmu Ju, you can stop using the Duanmu family to scare me. Other people might be afraid, but I'm not. Huang Yu grinned coldly. The place was instantly caught up in a chaotic battle. Everyone wanted the metal piece and was struggling for it with their full strength. Essential chi erupted, and the metal piece bounced and danced amongst the midst of all this. For a moment, no one could seem to grab it. Zing! Just then, Lu Ming suddenly perceived a subtle slicing sound behind him. A mighty blow was directed towards his back. Someone was attacking him in stealth. Swoosh! At the crucial moment, Lu Ming twisted his body to one side, evading the attack by a hair's breadth. Lu Ming whipped his head around, and his eyes glinted coldly. Yuan Lang, you're begging to die. The one who had sneaked up on him was Yuan Lang. The dead one will be you. Yesterday, I didn't explode my blood meridian. Let's see if you're still a match for me this time. Yuan Lang's murderous aura surged out as he spoke. Following that, there was a bloody flash as his blood meridian exploded. He barreled towards Lu Ming mercilessly. Slash slash. The icy metal claws stirred up a vigorous gale as he swiped at Lu Ming. His power was even greater than yesterday. Lu Ming did not waste time with words and wielded the lustrous sword technique. Instantly, he had created more than 10 arcs of sword light. Clang, clang. The exchange of blows rang out in succession. As soon as they fought, Yuan Lang's expression changed, because he found out that the strength of Lu Ming's strikes was greater than yesterday. Could it be that Lu Ming's cultivation had broken through in less than a day? That was impossible. Yuan Lang dismissed that thought. Lu Ming must have hidden his capabilities yesterday. He started to consider giving up. However, the light trembled on Lu Ming's blade. One of Yuan Lang's arms turned numb and he took 2 steps back. Swish! There was a burst of sword light, more dazzling than usual, piercing straight into Yuan Lang's abdomen. Lu Ming, don't kill me! Yuan Lang shrieked in alarm. I told you yesterday that there won't be a second chance. Lu Ming spoke coldly. Then he cut Yuan Lang's throat in one move and threw him backward. The direction where Yuan Lang fell was the battlefield where Duanmu Ju and the rest were fighting for the 500-point medal piece. With blades flashing all over the place, one was sure to end up as a severed corpse after being thrown out like that. Arg! Yuan Lang screamed in terror. After Lu Ming stabbed his abdomen, he still had not died. To survive, he had to unleash his full strength. His body burst out in blinding red light as his hands kept on clawing the air. Scram! Die! Duanmu Ju and the rest yelled angrily, delivering their attacks without hesitation. Pffffs. In the blink of an eye, Yuan Lang was sliced apart. His blood and flesh splattered everywhere. Even in his struggle against death, he blocked all of them for an instant. This was the instant that Lu Ming was waiting for. Without any hesitation, he dashed out. His dragon serpent steps unleashed his greatest might. In one step, he covered 20 meters. Swoosh! Lu Ming was like a streak of lightning as he leaped over the fight between Yin Kai and the rest. In one smooth grab, he captured the 500-point medal piece. Lu Ming, it's you. Hand over the medal piece to me and I'll spare your life. Yin Kai snarled in rage. Lu Ming, I know you. You dared to kill an apprentice from the Duanmu family. Give me the medal piece, and I'll plead with the adults on your behalf to reduce your punishment, Duanmu Ju hollered as well. All at once, the attacks were aimed at Lu Ming. With so many experts, he could not possibly resist them stubbornly. He took another step and raced forward by another 20 meters. The mutated black-scaled monitor lizard was lying in that direction. Presently, Lu Ming was only about 30 meters away from it. Behind him, Duanmu Ju, Yin Kai, and the rest joined forces and closed in around Lu Ming. Lu Ming, you can't run. Someone like you wants to seize the point-worthy medal piece? How hilarious! You'll die today. Yin Kai's eyes glimmered with a bloodthirsty expression. If it were not for Lu Ming, he would have obtained the point-worthy medal piece and left this place, essentially becoming this year's apprentice champion. However, all his dreams had turned to dust, thanks to Lu Ming. His hatred towards Lu Ming ran deep in his bones. Lu Ming, hand the medal piece to me. I can safeguard your life. Huang Yu cried out. At the same time, they kept on cornering Lu Ming while he withdrew further backward. Soon, he was only a few meters away from the mutated black-scaled monitor lizard. Chapter 44. Chapter 44. Acquiring the medal piece. Currently, the eyes of the mutated black-scaled monitor lizard were narrowed into slits. It was almost asleep. Otherwise, it would not just have sat there indifferently throughout their intense battle. Moreover, there was no entrance on the wall next to the black-scaled monitor lizard. There was nowhere to run. Lu Ming, you have no escape route. Duanmu Ju and the rest closed in slowly. If they were not being apprehensive of the black-scaled monitor lizard, they would have already attacked him. Is that so? Are you guys that confident? At this stage, Lu Ming actually beamed. How could he still smile? However, soon enough, Duanmu Ju, Yin Kai, and the rest understood why. Lu Ming turned around abruptly and dashed towards the mutated black-scaled monitor lizard. The sword light whistled through the air, ruthlessly piercing towards the black-scaled monitor lizard. Lu Ming, what are you doing? Stop. Stop right now. You're asking for it. Duanmu Ju and the rest changed their tones quickly, each of them yelling in fury. Even so, Lu Ming's sword light did not stop. The long sword viciously stabbed the mutated black-scaled monitor lizard's body. Roar! As the long sword penetrated its body, the mutated black-scaled monitor lizard gave an incensed howl and its eyes flew open. One more slash. Lu Ming pulled out the long sword, drawing a gush of blood. Then he stabbed once more. This time, the black-scaled monitor lizard was fully awake. It roared in rage and swiped its massive claw at him. Lu Ming used the dragon serpent steps to dodge the black-scaled monitor lizard's attack. After that, he ran towards Duanmuju, Yin Kai, and the rest. Roar! The mutated black-scaled monitor lizard bellowed deafeningly as it scampered madly towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming! Duanmuju, Yin Kai, and the rest all cried out in anger, but they could only turn around and flee helplessly. The strongest of them was only on the 4th grade master realm. Even with all their strength combined, it was not enough to kill the mutated black-scaled monitor lizard. Why are you guys running? Weren't you about to kill me? Lu Ming's taunting voice rang out. Duanmuju and the rest nearly coughed up blood in rage. They silently vowed to never forgive Lu Ming. Like birds startled by an arrow, they dared not linger in this cavern. Each of them rushed towards a cave entrance. Ha, bye-bye. Lu Ming stepped off the ground firmly and sprang into the air. He immediately landed at an entrance 10 meters above the ground and hurriedly raced away. After running helter-skelter, he covered over a kilometer of the tunnel in a single sprint. Only then did Lu Ming sit down to rest. He thought of something and took out the point-worthy metal piece. This metal piece was made of a different material compared to the other point-worthy metal pieces. It was dark golden and very solid. On its surface were 2 large golden words, 500. With these 500 points, in addition to his previous 124 points, Lu Ming had 624 points in total. 624 points, is that enough or not? Lu Ming started to ponder silently. It was hard to say. For instance, Duanmuju, Yin Kai, and the rest had gathered so many people. Some of them had only kept 10 points and gave the remaining point-worthy metal pieces to Duanmuju and the rest. In that case, it was hard to estimate how many points they had, so collecting 500 or 600 points was a possibility. There are still 2 more days. Perhaps I can rustle up some points from the Duanmu family or Yin Kai's group. A smirk tugged at Lu Ming's lips. Just then, frenzied footsteps sounded behind him. They were very agile. In the blink of an eye, a few figures appeared before Lu Ming. Duanmuju. Lu Ming sized them up. The center one amongst the trio was Duanmuju. The other 2 beside him were genius apprentices of the White Tiger Hall with their cultivation levels at the 3rd grade master realm. Upon seeing Lu Ming, Duanmuju did not seem surprised as he broke out into a humorless smile. Lu Ming, you're here indeed. How are you going to run now? How did you find me? Lu Ming asked in astonishment. Hee, I might as well tell you. My blood meridian is the keen spirit hound. With me around, you can't escape, a short youth beside Duanmuju spoke up. So, you've got a dog's nose? Lu Ming realized the truth. Lu Ming, I didn't hunt you down, yet you dared to seize my point-worthy metal piece. You've got some guts. Now, hand over the metal piece and I'll go easy on you, Duanmuju said. Lu Ming smirked. Does everyone from the Duanmu family have such blind confidence? I truly wonder how you guys became the number 1 family in the White Tiger Hall. Are you saying you won't hand it over? I'll show you how my Duanmu family became the number 1 family. Flying Tiger Sword. Kill. With that, Duanmuju pounced at Lu Ming. Sword chi surged out, and there was a faint tiger's roar. Clang! Lu Ming drew his sword to return the strike. Clang! Clang! Both their long swords clashed furiously. The space in the cave tunnel was narrow, so there was not much room for fighting poses. They could only fight directly face to face with brute force. Their swords collided a few times. Lu Ming felt his arm getting tired, and he involuntarily took 3 steps back. Meanwhile, Duanmuju's body was only heaving slightly. A 4th grade master has such powerful strength. My current strength can't match his at all. Lu Ming thought to himself. Your sword technique isn't bad, but it's a shame you're too weak. Die then. Flying Tiger Pounce. Duanmuju grinned coldly and sent his blade slicing towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming had the impression that a ferocious tiger was lunging at him. The Flying Tiger Sword technique was a superior yellow-level technique. Duanmuju had already cultivated it to the 3rd stage, and his moves were quick and ruthless. Since I'm no match in terms of strength, I'll use speed then. Lu Ming focused his concentration, fully immersed in the lustrous sword technique. Swoosh swoosh. One sword light after another lashed out, striking towards Duanmuju's vital points. Its speed was definitely much faster than Duanmuju's. Duanmuju could only give up attacking and use his strength to block Lu Ming's sword light. So what if your sword technique is fast? If force won't work, I'll attack until you can't hold your sword. Duanmuju weaved his long sword in an impenetrable pattern, clashing incessantly against Lu Ming's longsword. Waves of powerful essential qi kept flowing out, battering against Lu Ming. Is that so? What if I speed up? Now, a faint smirk appeared on Lu Ming's mouth. His blade flashed and his technique became even swifter. Like the flow of a river, the sword light cascaded unendingly towards Duanmuju. His lustrous sword technique had just broken through. Before this, his lustrous sword technique had been stuck at the 4th stage and he had been unable to break through. Nevertheless, in this fight against Duanmuju, the lustrous sword technique broke through to the 5th stage to achieve perfect divine-like usage in one move. Duanmuju's expression changed. Just now, he could barely maintain his defense. Currently, he discovered that he could not withstand this barrage of assaults at all. Swoosh! Lu Ming's glinting sword light instantly penetrated his defense, slashing towards his chest. Retreat, retreat, retreat. Duanmuju was startled and withdrew frantically. Even so, he was a little too late. Slash! Lu Ming's sword light immediately left a deep bloody gash across his chest. Duanmuju was drenched in cold sweat. If he had not retreated quickly enough, he would have been dead already. Attack! Attack together and kill him! Duanmuju roared in anger. Kill! As the other 2 youths and Duanmuju charged at Lu Ming together, their 3 spiritual weapons erupted with formidable sword qi. Chapter 45. Chapter 45. Slaying Duanmuju. Come on then. Facing the joint attack from those 3, Lu Ming grinned and did not back down. Instead, he rushed forward like the wind. You're asking for it. Die! The 3 of them huffed maliciously, each wielding their best technique. Their long swords surged with sword qi, carving through the air and emitting an ear-splitting whistle. The sword qi converged upon Lu Ming. Just then, Lu Ming's body glimmered bloodily and his blood meridian exploded. Immediately, he twisted his body to evade the sharp tips of their swords, ignoring their sword qi. Die then! Duanmuju and the other 2 had icy, murderous expressions in their eyes. Duanmuju, in particular, broke out into a satisfied smirk, as if the 500-point metal piece was already in his hands. Still, in the next moment his expression transformed because he sensed that when his sword qi landed on Lu Ming's body, it was like cutting through a bottomless abyss. Instantly his hair stood on end, and a frosty, savage aura enveloped him. Retreat, retreat now, he howled in his heart. However, it was too late. A beam of sword light appeared like a celestial angel, impaling his throat. A fountain of blood spurted out while Duanmuju choked out an animalistic howl with both hands grasping at his throat as he fell back. Nonetheless, after a few steps backward, he collapsed to the ground. In one slash, Lu Ming pierced through Duanmuju. He drew out his sword smoothly and cut the throat of the other youth. Swiftly, Lu Ming had exploited the uniqueness of his blood meridian to quickly slay 2 experts. There was only one person left. The final youth felt stifled in a cloud of death. He was scared witless and recoiled in wild panic. Still, how could he be as fast as Lu Ming? Lu Ming caught up with him in a few steps. After a few moves, the guy was biting Duanmuju's dust. Lu Ming slayed Duanmuju's group of 3. This time, I'm really unscathed. That's much better than the last time. Lu Ming checked himself all over and thought to himself. His blood meridian had devoured 50% of the sword qi from Duanmuju and the rest. The remaining half was mostly blocked by his protective essential qi, so Lu Ming was not harmed much. Of course, this was also thanks to the cultivation level of Duanmuju and the other 2. Duanmuju's cultivation was on the 4th grade master realm, only 2 stages above Lu Ming. If he was 3 stages, 4 or even 5 stages above Lu Ming, the end result would be different. Although Lu Ming could also devour 50% of the attack impact, the remaining 50% would be enough to grievously injure or even kill him. Let me see how many point-worthy metal pieces Duanmuju has gathered. Lu Ming frisked Duanmuju's body but did not even find a single metal piece. How could this be? How could Duanmuju not even have a single point-worthy metal piece? No, he must have a storage ring. Lu Ming's eyes lit up as he examined Duanmuju's fingers. As expected, he spotted a ring. After he took the ring off, Lu Ming sent his consciousness into the ring. In the next moment, a space popped up in his mind. It was not large with a volume of around 1 cubic meter. It was lacking by leaps and bounds compared to the Supreme Shrine. This was the space within the storage ring. In this space, there was a pile of point-worthy metal pieces, a stack of Esilavir notes, and some clothes. Lu Ming did not take inventory. After that, he gathered a pile of point-worthy metal pieces from the other 2 bodies. Along with the storage ring, these were all kept within the Supreme Shrine. Following that, he devoured their blood essences before his figure darted off and left. In a short while, he could see the first entrance of the cave. There was still a large crowd standing guard, but Yin Kai, Huang Yu, and the rest had not come out yet. Lu Ming promptly charged out and scaled a large tree nearby. He did not look for Feng Wu at once. Instead, he decided to cultivate the blood essence of Duanmuju's group first and take stock of his harvest before joining her. Lu Ming sat cross-legged between the branches of the tree and began to cultivate. The vital energy contained within the blood essence of a 4th grade and 2 3rd grade masters was refined and abundant. This was something 1st grade or 2nd grade masters could not compare to. Lu Ming's cultivation swiftly advanced. From peak mid-2nd grade master realm to top 2nd grade master realm until finally, after processing all of their blood essences, Lu Ming broke through in one step, reaching the 3rd grade master realm. Even so, the level of his blood meridian still did not progress. Upon the spirit-devouring worm blood meridian, the 3 blood-red meridian focal points were incomparably deep. Evidently, they were reaching their limit, but they just had not leveled up to become a 4th level blood meridian. Can my blood meridian only reach the 3rd level at most? Lu Ming thought, frowning. Forget it. I'll just continue to consume blood essence. I don't believe it can't advance any further. Following that, Lu Ming took out Duanmuju's storage ring and started to take stock. The combined points from the 2 3rd grade Master Realm youths were 130 points. Still, Duanmuju had the most with an incredible 520 points. Indeed, he had assembled so many people by his side, so his points were impressive, exceeding 500 points. Right then, Lu Ming had collected an awesome 1,224 points. With points like these, surely first place was in the bag. Lu Ming did not believe anyone else could surpass his score. Moreover, there were over 80,000 Esilavir notes in Duanmuju's storage ring. That was an unexpected loot. Duanmuju was truly a prodigy from the Duanmu family. His background was astounding. Putting the rest aside, even the storage ring itself would cost at least 100,000 taels of Esilavir. Even then, its demand exceeded its supply, and that was a conservative estimate. After taking inventory, Lu Ming's figure flashed and he arrived at the meeting place that he and Feng Wu had agreed upon. When Feng Wu saw him, she asked hurriedly, "Lu Ming, you're already out. How's the situation?" "Splendid." Lu Ming smiled gently. Feng Wu's pretty eyes shone. "Lu Ming, is the 500-point metal piece in your possession?" "Of course. Otherwise, wouldn't I have wasted a trip?" He grinned, brimming with confidence. "Oh, you devil! You've actually obtained the 500-point metal piece. It looks like you've made a fool of Yin Kai, Duanmuju, and the rest." Feng Wu exclaimed and stared at him, her eyes wide with matchless surprise. "Let's go." Both of them turned to leave, disappearing in the woods. Soon enough, 2 days passed. The 20 days of the test were up. A lot of people had gathered outside the Midnight Hills, including Xie Kuang and the other guidance elders of the four halls, as well as a few Silavira-robed elders. In addition to that, there were attendants from various halls who were tasked with tallying the points. Other than these people, there were also many youths who were the senior apprentices of the four halls. Every year, the new apprentices who just joined would receive extra attention because new blood represented the future as well as endless possibilities. The guidance elders of the four halls stood in front. At the moment, the elder from the White Tiger Hall was asking the other three, "In your opinion, how many will qualify this year?" The guidance elder from the White Tiger Hall was a short, stout middle-aged man named Duanmu Jin. He was from the Duanmu family. Chapter 46. Chapter 46. Who's the apprentice champion? There are a total of 13,000 points. Technically, 1,300 people should pass, but in reality, it's impossible to have so many people passing. The Azure Dragon Hall Guidance Elder added, "I'm sure that some point-worthy metal pieces will remain unfound, and while some people get higher points, some might not even have 10 points. So, I'll consider 500 passes a decent amount. I estimate around 500 people passing too." Xie Kuang nodded. "It's always been around this number according to my experience. I'm curious though, who'll be the apprentice champion this year?" The Onyx Tortoise Hall Guidance Elder asked. Duanmu Ju, our Duanmu genius, of course." Duanmu Jin replied smugly. "You're in over your head, Duanmu Jin. Our Huang Yu's exceptionally talented with an awakened 5th level Blood Meridian and 4th grade Master Realm Cultivation level. He's just as good as Duanmu Ju, so I think he's gonna be the apprentice champion," the Azure Dragon Hall Guidance Elder rebutted. "Our Xie Hong may be a girl, but she's on par with your geniuses in terms of blood meridians and cultivation too, so she just might win this," the Onyx Tortoise Hall Guidance Elder boasted. "That might not be the case since our Yin Kai's one of the very best too. The Vermilion Bird Hall will emerge as champion this year." Xie Kuang chirped. Duanmu Jin patted his potbelly as he scorned, "Huang Yu and the rest of them might be kinda good, but Duanmu Ju's still better. Besides, Xie Kuang, the Vermilion Bird Hall hasn't won the past 8 years, so this year is just as impossible for you. Stop daydreaming." Xie Kuang's face sank as he barked, "What's the meaning of this, fatty Duanmu? Are you looking down on us, Vermilion Bird Hall?" "Yes, so what if I'm looking down on you? You actually expect your bunch of trash to be the apprentice champion? Impossible. If you remain unconvinced, let's bet on it." Duanmu Jin scoffed. "Damn it, I'm not afraid of you. Let's bet on it, fatty Duanmu." "Name your wager," Xie Kuang replied. Duanmu Jin's eyes flashed with excitement as he stated, "I bet 30 spiritual crystals on the White Tiger Hall winning. How's that for a bet?" "What? 30 spiritual crystals?" Xie Kuang yelled in surprise. Spiritual crystals were formed by the condensation of highly concentrated spiritual energy. It was extremely precious and only martial artists beyond the Grandmaster realm could use it to cultivate. The market price for a single spiritual crystal was 10,000 taels of Asilavir, so 30 spiritual crystals were equivalent to 300,000 taels of Asilavir. It was an extremely expensive bet. "What's wrong, Xie Kuang? Chickened out? Too expensive for you?" Duanmu Jin jeered. "Damn it." Xie Kuang gritted his teeth and snapped, "Bet's on, Duanmu Jin. Don't act dumb and forget about our bet later." "I should be more afraid of you bailing out on me." Duanmu Jin smiled coldly. "The apprentices are coming out now," the Azure Dragon Hall Guidance Elder interrupted. A few youths exited the Midnight Hills. "They're from the Vermilion Bird Hall. They came out so quickly, huh? I wonder how many points they have," Duanmu Jin mocked. Xie Kuang's face darkened as he asked the apprentices, "How many points do you have? Bring them all out and have them counted." "And not much." Flustered, a young man took out 2 one-point metal pieces while the others had none. That was all they had. Only 2 points for the entire bunch. What a huge harvest. Duanmu Jin guffawed. The other two guidance elders had mocking smiles on their faces. The competition was fierce among the four halls, so the worse the other hall was, the better it was for them. Xie Kuang's face darkened venomously. More apprentices exited the Midnight Hills, but the passing rate was at a low of 10 to 1. Those that failed hung their head in disappointment while those who passed skipped with delight. Naturally, the White Tiger Hall had the most number of passes out of the four halls for now. The Azure Dragon Hall came in second, whereas the Onyx Tortoise Hall came in third. The Vermilion Bird Hall came in last, like how it had been for the past years. While Duanmu Jin beamed, Xie Kuang fumed. A voice rang out clearly. Xie Hong's out. Xie Hong, the Onyx Tortoise Hall's #1 expert, exited the Midnight Hills with a gloomy expression. Hehe, looks like Xie Hong's results aren't as good as expected, huh? Duanmu Jin gloated as the face of the Onyx Tortoise Hall guidance elder darkened by a shade. Xie Hong accumulated up to 509 points. It's not too bad, but without the 500-point medal piece, it's hard to win with this amount, the Azure Dragon Hall guidance elder commented. Well, if the 500-point medal piece remains untouched, Honga could win with 509 points, the Onyx Tortoise Hall guidance elder added forcefully. Someone has taken the 500-point medal piece, Xie Hong said abruptly. What? Who has it? All four guidance elders blurted out. Whoever had the 500-point medal piece could win, hence their concern. Xie Hong shook her head quietly. Initially, Lu Ming had it, but Duanmu Ju, Yin Kai, Huang Yu, and the rest of them hunted and chased after him. A few days had passed and Xie Hong really had no idea who held the 500-point medal piece now. The eyes of all four guidance elders flickered as they debated on who the possible apprentice champion was. Yin Kai's out. Huang Yu too. Xie Kuang's heart skipped a beat as he hurried towards the apprentices. Both Yin Kai and Huang Yu exited Midnight Hills with their troops. Go ahead, Yin Kai, have your points counted first, Huang Yu said to Yin Kai. Yin Kai waved his hands with a stormy expression as a pile of point-worthy metal pieces appeared out of thin air. As expensive as storage rings were, geniuses like the likes of him could still afford them. 496 points. Yin Kai had a total of 496 points, which was lesser than Xie Hong. Huh, it looks like I'll be 30 spiritual crystals richer now, Xie Kuang. Yin Kai has less points than Xie Hong, so it's impossible for him to get first place now. Duanmu Jin chuckled. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, Duanmu Jin. Even if Yin Kai has lost, Duanmu Ju still might not win, Xie Kuang refuted. Oh really? It doesn't matter anyway since I'm still unbeatable as of now. Even if Duanmu Ju doesn't win, I'm not the one losing, Duanmu Jin jeered. At the same time, Yin Kai's face twisted in rage as he roared in his heart, Lu Ming, I hope Duanmu Ju took the 500-point medal piece away from you. He would rather lose to Duanmu Ju than have Lu Ming win first prize. At that moment, Lu Ming and Feng Wu exited the Midnight Hills. Chapter 47. Chapter 47. Counting Points. When Lu Ming and Feng Wu walked out, no one paid them any attention. All they got was a glance from the guidance elders and senior apprentices. 3 out of 4 #1 geniuses were out from the Midnight Hills, and everyone else was mostly waiting for Duanmu Ju. Only a small number of people kept their attention locked on Lu Ming, and they were those who participated in the 500-point medal piece fight. Yin Kai's eyes blazed. You survived, Lu Ming? How did you manage to evade Duanmu Ju? Yin Kai's eyes bore into Lu Ming as he asked. Huh. What Yin Kai said caught everyone by surprise. According to his tone, was Lu Ming actually somebody? But, are you disappointed that I'm still alive? Lu Ming sneered. From the side, Huang Yu asked with a stern voice, since you evaded Duanmu Ju, does it mean that the 500-point medal piece is still with you? What? Huang Yu's words dropped like a bombshell. All eyes were on Lu Ming and they were filled with questions and confusion, especially the 4 guidance elders. Who's this Lu Ming? I've never heard that name before. How did the 500-point metal piece end up with him? How's this possible? Many of them were in disbelief. Of course, didn't you see it the last time? With a faint smile, Lu Ming waved his hand and a violet gold metal piece appeared in his hand. That was precisely the 500-point metal piece, and it was the only thing everyone was focused on at that instant. Is that really the 500-point metal piece? Who exactly is this Lu Ming? He actually has the 500-point metal piece. Is he the new apprentice champion? Chaos erupted as shock set in. Haha, this is awesome. Good one, Lu Ming. Xie Kuang howled in laughter as he recovered from the shock. He was ecstatic. When Yin Kai came back with only 400 points, Xie Kuang thought that the Vermilion Bird Hall was about to wave the apprentice champion title goodbye yet again. Besides losing 30 spiritual crystals to Duanmu Jin, he would also have to endure the latter's relentless taunting. Now that Lu Ming had the 500-point metal piece, it reignited hope within Xie Kuang. Lu Ming. It's Lu Ming again. Could none of our Duanmu experts kill this Lu Ming? Duanmu Jin was shocked to the core as he stared incredulously at Lu Ming. When he finally came back to his senses, he scoffed, "What are you so gleeful about, Xie Kuang? Maybe Lu Ming's just lucky enough to get the 500-point metal piece by chance. That's probably all he has. Do you think he could win with just the 500-point metal piece alone?" "We'll find out after we count his points," Xie Kuang replied. "Did you think you could beat me with a mere 500-point metal piece?" "Look carefully," Huang Yu said coldly as a pile of point-worthy metal pieces appeared on the counter with a wave. "That much?" Everyone's gazes froze when they realized that Huang Yu's pile was a lot bigger than Xie Hong's. 706 points. Huang Yu had a whopping 706 points. Gasp! Sharp inhales spread across the area. Huang Yu's gotten 706 points. That's crazy. He managed to get points like that even without the 500-point metal piece. Who's to say he won't be the apprentice champion? Not bad. No one has heard of this Lu Ming previously, so I don't think he's from an aristocratic family. With no one to collect points for him, it's impossible for him to get more than 200 points. Everyone was talking about it. Great! The guidance elder of the Azure Dragon Hall laughed gleefully. Heh. Duanmu Jin snickered and said, "Xie Kuang, so what if Lu Ming's gotten the 500-point metal piece? I told you celebrated too early. If a piece of trash was fortunate enough to get only the 500-point metal piece, he still can't win anyway." "Huff, let's see then." Xie Kuang huffed coldly, but deep down he was very uncertain. Xie Kuang knew about most of Vermilion Bird Hall's new apprentices, but he has never heard of Lu Ming's name. Lu Ming casually looked at all that was happening with a faint smile on his face. He was oddly calm as he made his way to the counter. Lu Ming looked at Huang Yu and said nonchalantly, "Observe carefully then, if that's what you want to do." In a wave, a big pile of point-worthy metal pieces came tumbling down onto the counter. From the looks of the pile, it seemed a lot bigger than Huang Yu's pile. As so much? Eyes popped out of their sockets and some people nearly bit their tongues as they gawked at the pile of point-worthy metal pieces on the counter. Feng Wu, who was with Lu Ming most of the time, gaped soundlessly. She certainly did not expect Lu Ming to have that many point-worthy metal pieces. "When did that happen?" "Martial uncle, could you help me out with the counting, please?" Lu Ming prompted the person in charge of the point counting since he was still in shock. The person in charge came back to his senses and started to count. With 724 points, in addition to the 500-point metal piece, Lu Ming had 1,224 points in total. Lu Ming had not scavenged for more point-worthy metal pieces in the last 2 days. Instead, he spent most of his time cultivating so that his cultivation had a firmer base. His jaw-dropping 1,224 points stunned everyone with their mouths agape. This was mind-blowing. Even without the 500-point metal piece, Lu Ming still had more points than Huang Yu. With points like this, Lu Ming was undoubtedly the apprentice champion. How's that possible? How can it be? I had the whole Azure Dragon Hall collecting points for me, and I spent quite a fortune getting points from some others as well. How did Lu Ming get so many points? Huang Yu roared in anguish in his head. Damn it. Yin Kai clenched his fists tightly in frustration. Haha, I told you to wait for the official count, Duanmu Jin. It's crystal clear now, isn't it? Xie Kuang was on cloud 9 as he guffawed and his hands stroked his beard continuously. As he fixed his gaze on Lu Ming, he suddenly felt that the latter was such an adorable person. Xie Kuang Lu Ming. Duanmu Jin clenched his jaws so tightly that his teeth started grinding against each other noisily. Oh, also, 30 spiritual crystals please, Duanmu Jin. Xie Kuang added. Hold your horses. Not everyone's out yet. Are Duanmu Ju still making his way out? How sure are you that Lu Ming's won? Duanmu Jin selfishly hoped for Duanmu Ju to create a miracle. Elder Jin, something bad's happened. A loud voice rang out from within the midnight woods as a dozen figures rushed out. They were the young experts of the Duanmu family. What's going on? What's the rush? As a member of the Duanmu family and the mystical sword sect, you've got to keep calm no matter what happened, understand? Duanmu Jin's face darkened as he reprimanded the young Duanmu experts. Where's Duanmu Ju? Why didn't he come out with you? Chapter 48. Chapter 48. The Desperate Duanmu Family. Something's happened, Elder Jin. Duanmu Ju is dead. One of the Duanmu youths reported fearfully. What? Duanmu Jin froze. His eyes widened as he let out a small cry. How could he have remained calm? Everyone who heard the news was startled. The other 3 guidance elders had a slight change in expression. A look of joy flitted across Xie Kuang's face. Duanmu Ju was actually dead? How did he die? Yin Kai, Huang Yu, and some others could not help but look pointedly at Lu Ming. Where did Lu Ming's points come from? Judging by the amount, it was impossible for him to have killed all those demonic beasts alone. Could it be from Duanmu Ju? Speak. How did Duanmu Ju die? Duanmu Jin ordered maliciously. A slit across the throat with a sword, said a young man. A slit across the throat with a sword? Who did it? Cold killing intent erupted from Duanmu Jin. We don't know. When we found Duanmu Jin's trail and followed it, he was already dead. We also found 2 other bodies with him. They were the White Tiger Hall's 3rd-grade Master Realm apprentices. What? Don't you know who did it? Killing intent flickered in Duanmu Jin's eyes. He abruptly turned to face Lu Ming as he barked. Speak, Lu Ming. Did you kill Duanmu Ju? Before Lu Ming could answer, Xie Kuang retorted with a roar. Duanmu Jin. What's the meaning of this? Elder Duanmu, did you even see me kill Duanmu Ju? Also, you heard him. There were 2 other 3rd-grade Master Realm experts with him. Did you really think I could kill him? Lu Ming answered with a faint smile. Many pondered upon Lu Ming's words. That's true. Does Lu Ming even have the skills to kill Duanmu Ju and the 2 other 3rd-grade Master Realm experts? Impossible. Duanmu Jin scoffed. How do you explain the amount of point-worthy metal pieces in your possession? You must have killed Duanmu Ju with some kind of despicable trick. I'll destroy you right now, you shameless, filthy prick. Boom. As he took a stride, a formidable aura erupted from Duanmu Jin, pressing against Lu Ming like a lofty mountain. The crushing weight was too strong for Lu Ming to handle. He felt like a mountain had slammed into him and his body shook as he was forced backward. Blood threatened to spew out from his mouth. What are you doing, Duanmu Jin? Xie Kuang raged as he hid Lu Ming behind him. An equally formidable aura exploded from him, shielding Lu Ming from Duanmu Jin's aura. Piss off, Xie Kuang. Duanmu Jin bellowed. Fatty Duanmu, do you have fats for a fucking brain? In the mystical sword sect, winners have always taken it all. Which rule calls for an explanation of the source of the point-worthy metal pieces. Did you live all these fucking years as a dog? Fury rose from within Lu Ming as he berated. He refused to be bullied. Wadash. It was once again a jaw-dropping moment for everyone present. How reckless of Lu Ming to dare yell at Duanmu Jin in public like that. Sure enough, Duanmu Jin was so mad that he shook uncontrollably. He raised his arm and pointed at Lu Ming. "You little bastard, what did you just say? Great, you're deaf too. Guess you really did live a fucking dog life." Lu Ming pursed his lips. "I'll kill you, you little bastard." Duanmu Jin's eyes glowed a frenzy red as he threw a punch at Lu Ming. "Stay where you are." Xie Kuang's fist collided with Duanmu Jin's. Boom! Both Xie Kuang and Duanmu Jin staggered backward from the blast. "Piss off, Xie Kuang, or I'll kill you as well," Duanmu Jin yelled. "I was afraid that you can't." Xie Kuang refused to budge. Boom! Just then, immense pressure came from the skies. The pressure was so great that it felt as if it had unfathomable depths like the ocean, paralyzing both Xie Kuang and Duanmu Jin. Sila-Vera-robed elder. Both of them gasped. In the skies, a displeased elderly man hovered over them and rebuked, "Absurd, both of you, shamelessly fighting to the death in front of all the apprentices as guidance elders. For what? To be ridiculed by the younger generation?" Elder Wang, Lu Ming used despicable methods to kill Duanmu Ju and the rest. He cannot go unpunished. I suggest stripping him of his apprentice champion title. Duanmu Jin cupped his fists towards the Sila-Vera-robed elder as he spoke. "Hee, I'm gonna say the same to you, Duanmu Jin. Did you see me kill Duanmu Ju and the rest in despicable ways? And you tell me that you haven't fucking lived as a dog." Since Lu Ming was already an arch-nemesis with the Duanmu family, he said whatever he wanted and insulted Duanmu Jin without any restraint. He was sure that Xie Kuang and the Sila-Vera-robed elder would not let anything happen to him. "How dare you, insolent fool! You have no respect for the elders." Duanmu Jin howled, his prosperous body trembling with unconstrained fury. He was outraged. All he wanted was to pound Lu Ming into a meatloaf. "You and your yelling, Duanmu Jin. Just spit it out. You're weaseling out. All it took was 30 spiritual crystals for you to accuse and trample over a new genius apprentice. That's certainly a first for me." Xie Kuang took the chance to mock him. "You." Furious and flustered, Duanmu Jin nearly vomited blood as his chest rose up and down rapidly. Everyone else stared with their mouths wide open nearby. Geniuses like Huang Yu and Xie Hong saw Lu Ming in a different light. While they had remarkable backgrounds, even they had no courage to yell at a Duanmu elder in public like that. Lu Ming was flaunting such lawlessness. Duanmu Jin took a few deep breaths in an attempt to calm down as he cupped his fist towards the Sila-Vera-robed elder once more and said, "Elder Wang, I'm sure Lu Ming used despicable methods to gather such an amount of point-worthy metal pieces. If he's allowed to win the first prize like that, I'm afraid it'll be hard to convince the other new apprentices. I suggest that we test his abilities. If he passes, I'll acknowledge him as the apprentice champion." "No way, Elder Wang. The new apprentice test has always used points to determine placings, and there have never been any restrictions on how the points are obtained," Xie Kuang objected hurriedly. Duanmu Jin scoffed. "Don't you forget, Xie Kuang. All the previous apprentice champions were publicly recognized for their abilities. Even those who were fortunate were proven to be capable. But this Lu Ming, where's he from? What's he capable of?" His words were laced thick with disdain. "Oh. How would you like to test him, Duanmu Jin?" The Sila-Vera-robed elder pondered. "Very simple. Come on out, Duanmu Tao," Duanmu Jin ordered with a wave. Immediately, a young man stepped out from where the old apprentices were. Duanmu Jin pointed at that young man and said, "This time, the strongest cultivation level among the new apprentices is the 4th grade Master Realm, which is exactly Duanmu Tao's cultivation level. If Lu Ming beats Duanmu Tao, I'll acknowledge his apprentice champion title. If not, I suggest that Lu Ming be stripped of his first placing." Xie Kuang's expression changed. "I object. Duanmu Tao is a 3rd-year apprentice. Even if his cultivation's on the 4th grade Master Realm, It's not fair for a new apprentice to fight someone who's trained for 3 years. If you don't have what it takes, just say it out loud. The apprentice champion title isn't as attainable as you think it is, Duanmu Jin replied coldly. All right, I'll do it, Lu Ming agreed all of a sudden. Chapter 49. Chapter 49. Watch out or you're gonna get hurt. Lu Ming stepped out with a faint smile on his face. Xie Kuang's expression changed again as he urged, Don't be rash, Lu Ming. The Vermilion Bird Hall finally won the apprentice champion this year round, so Xie Kuang was expecting a tremendous boost in popularity and better allocation of resources from the mystical sword sex management. He simply could not allow Lu Ming to throw the first place away so rashly. Lu Ming smiled and told Xie Kuang, Don't worry, Elder Xie, just a mere Duanmu disciple with slightly longer cultivation time, that's all. So what? He then turned to Duanmu Jin and confirmed, I accept the challenge, Duanmu Jin. Good. Duanmu Jin was flooded with euphoria when he saw how Lu Ming accepted his challenge. He cupped his fists towards the Silavir-robed elder once more and said, Elder Wang, Lu Ming himself said he'll do it. Please allow it. Elder Wang nodded and replied, All right, it'll be done according to your request then. Thank you, Elder Wang. Duanmu Jin could barely contain his delight. He turned to Duanmu Tao and stated, Listen carefully now, Duanmu Tao. Lu Ming's the apprentice champion nominee. He's highly talented, so you've gotta just try your best later, understand? Got it? Don't worry, Elder Jin. A sinister smile hung on Duanmu Tao's face as he turned to Lu Ming. You still have time to just surrender now, Lu Ming. Otherwise, when the match starts, watch out, or you're gonna get hurt later. Don't blame me for not giving you a heads up. Duanmu Jin retreated for a good 10 meters and told Duanmu Tao, Don't hold back. The mystical sword sex apprentice champion should be capable and know his stuff well. He shouldn't be a piece of trash that only relies on luck. Your time is up. With a menacing smile on his face, Duanmu Tao moved unexpectedly. He unsheathed his sword and hacked it towards Lu Ming. Swoosh! Swoosh! In a flick, 9 beams of sword light that resembled plum blossoms bloomed from the body of his sword, engulfing Lu Ming completely. This is the Heavenly Plum Blossom Sword Technique, a superior yellow-level martial arts technique. After years of painstaking training and cultivation, Duanmu Tao's finally reached the 4th stage, the Azure Dragon Hall Guidance Elder commented with a sparkle in his eyes. Not bad, even though Duanmu Tao's cultivation is merely average, he has pretty good perception towards martial arts technique. He's considerably talented to be able to cultivate a superior yellow-level martial arts technique to the stage he's at in just a few years. What a clever plan it is for Duanmu Jin to send Duanmu Tao out to fight Lu Ming. I'm afraid no one in this batch of new apprentices is a match for Duanmu Tao, the Onyx Tortoise Hall Guidance Elder added. Wretch! Xie Kuang clamped his fists tightly as worry shone in his eyes. Heh. Duanmu Jin smirked. At the same time, a similar smirk was seen hanging on Lu Ming's face as well. He held his ground. Clang! A sword light as fast as lightning burst forth. It all happened too fast. In an instant, the lightning-like sword light reached its target first even though it was released later. As the cold sword tip neared Duanmu Tao's face, a feeling of dread crept up from deep within his heart. Retreat! Without hesitation, Duanmu Tao retreated in a frenzy. Whatever patterned sword light he had going disappeared immediately without a trace. The smile froze on Duanmu Jin's face. What a swift sword! This is also a superior yellow-level sword technique, the Azure Dragon Hall Guidance Elder blurted out as his expression changed. That's right. This is the lustrous sword technique, a superior yellow-level sword technique. Lu Ming's at least at the 4th or 5th stage, I reckon, the Onyx Tortoise Hall Guidance Elder said as an odd gleam flitted through his eyes. 1. Xie Kuang was ecstatic. He did not expect Lu Ming to have such amazing martial arts attainment since he was just a new apprentice. Is this the martial arts technique you've trained painstakingly for a few years, Duanmu Tao? Is this all you've got? What a disgrace. Lu Ming smiled faintly. Damn it. Here's one more move. Duanmu Tao roared. His figure dazzled into several phantom images that attacked Lu Ming simultaneously while a tempest of sword qi exploded from his body of his sword. Duanmu Tao continuously slashed about 7 or 8 sword qis out, all of it aimed at Lu Ming. So what if your sword's swift? He would suppress Lu Ming with formidable essential qi. I'm done playing games with you, Lu Ming muttered. His long sword then slashed abruptly. Zing! A beam of sword qi swept across the area. It was a lot sharper than Duanmu Tao's sword qi. After Lu Ming broke through to the 3rd grade master realm, the mass of his essential qi was already above Duanmu Tao's. Duanmu Tao's sword qi was severed in several puffs. Immediately after that, Lu Ming threw a punch out with his left hand. The Flame Dragon Fist. The blow landed right on Duanmu Tao's dantian. Duanmu Tao cried out in pain as his body flew backward from impact and landed heavily on the ground. His face paled as he vomited copious amounts of blood. Silence. Pin-drop silence swept across the entire area. 2 moves. All Lu Ming took to defeat Duanmu Tao were 2 moves. It was a complete victory. Was this even a new apprentice's fighting ability? My Qi Cyclone, my cultivation. Lu Ming, did you just destroy my cultivation? Duanmu Tao let out a shrill cry. The punch that Lu Ming delivered was so powerful that it completely destroyed the Qi Cyclone in Duanmu Tao's dantian. Boom! Lu Ming! The cold, murderous intent that exploded from Duanmu Jin was directed straight at Lu Ming. In a stride, Xie Kuang stepped in and blocked Duanmu Jin in his path. Piss off, Xie Kuang. I'll destroy that little bastard. How could he land such a heavy blow in a friendly match? He has such a bad character and should be killed. Duanmu Jin yelled. Duanmu Tao's words were, when the match starts, watch out, or you're gonna get hurt later. I thought I did pretty well by restraining myself and sparing his life, but rather than thanking me, you accuse me of having a bad character. Instead of me, I think the person with a bad character is you. Lu Ming said in a loud voice. Go to hell, little bastard. Duanmu Jin had enough. His face was a bright red as he failed to stifle his rage. That's enough. The silver-robed elder waved and a gust of energy poured out, forcing Xie Kuang and Duanmu Jin to stagger backward. You've got to give Duanmu Tao justice, please, Elder Wang. Duanmu Jin shrieked. Elder Wang frowned. Enough, Duanmu Jin. Nothing is guaranteed when a duel happens. Injuries are inevitable. Stop making a big fuss. To ensure fairness, the silver-robed elders had been sent directly by the sect leader to oversee the test. They did not belong to any hall, so they would not take sides. Elder Wang was joyful when he witnessed Lu Ming's capabilities and potential. After all, it meant that there was another genius in the mystical sword sect. He was also annoyed at Duanmu Jin for trying to kill Lu Ming for his personal agenda. The match has proven Lu Ming's capabilities, and since most people are out from the Midnight Hills, I declare that first place belongs to Lu Ming. Elder Wang wasted no time as he announced. Damn it! Duanmu Jin was boiling with rage. He knew he could not make Lu Ming pay that day. I'll see how cocky you can continue to be, Lu Ming. People who go against the Duanmu family never end up in a good place, he cursed in his heart. Not very far away, Xie Hong, Huang Yu, and the rest looked at Lu Ming, perplexed. Lu Ming's capabilities were beyond their expectation. They were so sure that Duanmu Ju had died by his hand. They were secretly glad that they did not go after Lu Ming in the Midnight Hills, or else they would have been dead. 30 spiritual crystals. Pay up, Duanmu Jin, Xie Kuang snickered coldly as he marched towards Duanmu Jin. Clack, clack, clack. Duanmu Jin gritted his teeth so tightly that they rubbed against each other noisily. He could not weasel out, not with everyone watching, so he painfully passed 30 spiritual crystals to Xie Kuang. Xie Kuang laughed in satisfaction. The time was up for Elder Wang to announce the placings. Huang Yu is in second place, and Xie Hong in third. The names and placings were announced individually. With 131 points, Feng Wu was placed in 22nd place. Once the announcement was done, Elder Wang continued with a wave. Now, this marks the end of the new apprentice test. Once you get back to the sect, those with rewards can claim them when you get your identity jade pieces done. You are dismissed. Chapter 50. Chapter 50, Awarding Rewards. In the Vermilion Bird Hall, all newly accepted apprentices gathered on the training field. Other than Xie Kuang, the guidance elder, there were a few other Vermilion Bird Hall elders and a Silavir-robed elder on stage. Huge smiles were etched on each elder's face. We won't award you with your identity jade pieces. Your personal information and your sect contribution points will be in your identity jade pieces. You can use the jade pieces for your transactions should you need to use your sect contribution points. 1. There was a jade piece in the Silavir-robed elder's hand. He continued, even though our overall results weren't great, Lu Ming managed to emerge as the apprentice champion for the first time after 8 long years. He brought glory to the Vermilion Bird Hall, so this time around, we at the Vermilion Bird Hall will award him with another 2,000 sect contribution points in addition to his original rewards of 5,000 sect contribution points and a spirit condensing fruit. Come claim your prize, Lu Ming. As soon as the elder was done, all eyes were on Lu Ming. Some gazes were envious, some were jealous, some full of admiration. Amongst them, Yin Kai's eyes dripped with malice. Only he knew what he was up to as his eyes continuously looked around. Lu Ming walked up to accept his identity jade piece and another jade box. As his consciousness sank into the jade piece, a row of words appeared before him. Lu Ming, 15, citizen of the Fiery Wind City. Bronze apprentice of the Vermilion Bird Hall, the Mystical Sword Sect. Residence, Room 1, Courtyard 29. Sect contribution points, 7,000. The information was extremely comprehensive with their residence clearly marked out for them. Inside the jade box was the spirit condensing fruit. Thank you, Elder. Lu Ming cupped his fists as he saluted, then he walked down from the stage. The other apprentices collected their identity jade pieces. Once everyone was done, they parted ways and Lu Ming made his way to the Vermilion Bird Peak. The majestic Vermilion Bird Peak stood tall beyond the clouds. Forests and jungles covered the peak. With all the beautiful flora and fauna found in these woods, it was like heaven on earth. Mid-peak, there was a space filled with countless exquisite courtyards. These were dorms for the Vermilion Bird Hall apprentices. The spiritual energy here is so rich and dense. It's at least a few times thicker than the general apprentices area. No wonder everyone was fighting to become a bronze apprentice. I heard that Esilavir apprentices, some elders and hall masters live closer to the tip of the mountain and that the spiritual energy there's even thicker than what it's like now. Lu Ming pondered as he made his way to his residence. The courtyards were numbered on the door, so he found courtyard 29 very quickly. It had quite a huge yard with a patio for cultivating martial arts in the middle. There were also 3 rooms. The middle one was numbered 1, while the other rooms were rooms 2 and 3 respectively. Lu Ming made his way to room 1 where the sight of a simple bed and a table greeted him. It was an extremely modest setup. There was a booklet on the table explaining the basic guidelines and happenings of the Mystical Sword Sect and the Blazing Sun Empire. After flipping through it, Lu Ming kept the booklet aside. He walked out of the door as he heard footsteps approaching. A beefy young man of about 15 to 16 years old walked in. He had big eyes and bushy eyebrows and he carried a sword wider than a palm on his back. He gawked at Lu Ming and was quickly overjoyed. Senior brother Lu Ming, you're assigned to Courtyard 29 too. Huh, that's great. We'll be housemates now. The beefy young man chuckled. Lu Ming smiled faintly and said, You're too kind, brother. How do I address you? My name's Pang Shi. I'm a hunter from Seafront City, the beefy youth introduced himself enthusiastically. From his brief introduction, Lu Ming understood that Pang Shi was the son of a hunter's family in Seafront City and that he was supernaturally strong. Since he awakened his blood meridians when he was 14, his family sent him to the mystical sword sect to be tested and enrolled. Pang Shi was successfully accepted, and he had passed the test to become a bronze apprentice. Looking at this hunter's lad, Lu Ming thought that Pang Shi was more than what met the eyes, since it was not as easy for a normal hunter's lad to be enrolled and pass the new apprentice test in one go. "I'm a little dumb, so please show me around, senior brother Lu Ming," Pang Shi said as he scratched the back of his head. "Are you asking him to show you around? I think it's better if you mingle with me." A green-robed, handsome-looking youth walked in from the patio. This lanky young man was fair-skinned with long and narrow eyes. He had an air of untamed wildness that surrounded him. The green-robed youth walked in and scoffed at Lu Ming without warning. "Remember this, Lu Ming. My name's Hua Qi. You being the apprentice champion doesn't mean anything here. Since we're both new to the mystical sword sect, I'll surpass you in a year." "Starry-eyed fool? What an odd name," Pang Shi replied in surprise, conveniently ignoring everything else Hua Qi said. The green-robed youth stiffened. "What are you talking about, you big dumb buffoon? My name's Hua Qi, not a starry-eyed fool." "It's still starry-eyed fool, isn't it, senior brother Lu Ming?" Puzzled, Pang Shi scratched the back of his head in confusion. Lu Ming could not help but laugh. "You're right, Pang Shi. I heard a starry-eyed fool too. You hillbillies. Just you wait and see. My name, Hua Qi, will shake the entire mystical sword sect and even the entire blazing sun empire in no time." Confidence shone in Hua Qi's eyes as he walked into room 2 with a huff, ignoring Lu Ming and Pang Shi. Lu Ming smiled and excused himself from Pang Shi to go back to his room as well. Since reaching the master realm, Lu Ming's cultivation had risen as he devoured essences constantly. However, that caused his foundation to be a little shaky and his essential qi was tainted and unrefined. He had to stop and spend time to set his base and cultivate his essential qi. A shaky foundation was a huge problem that would affect his cultivation progress in the future. It would hinder Lu Ming from breaking through to the next level, and his cultivation journey would cease. Even having a spirit-devouring word blood meridian to devour more essence would have been in vain. Lu Ming exercised the true war dragon technique, and the qi cyclone in his dantian spun steadily, creating little streams of dragon-shaped essential qi, which flowed through his meridians, repeatedly refining the impurities in his essential qi. After 6 hours, Lu Ming opened his eyes. "My cultivation will be firmer and more consolidated in 10 days if this continues. Then, I'll move on to the second stage of the true war dragon technique. My advantage in the master realm is decreasing. I can only obtain higher combat power if I reach the second stage in my true war dragon technique cultivation. Other than blood mist rocks, I've got 2 out of 3 essential ingredients required in the second stage true war dragon technique. I'll go to the contribution hall in 2 days and see if they have any blood mist rocks," Lu Ming reflected. He pondered upon what had happened in the test. Then, he came to a conclusion about what he lacked and determined the direction of his cultivation going forward. Chapter 51. Chapter 51. Ning Feng pays a visit. In the blink of an eye, 2 days passed. While Lu Ming was cultivating, a loud yell suddenly boomed from outside. "Lu Ming, get your butt out here." Ning Feng. Lu Ming remembered the voice very well. It was that senior apprentice who had caused him trouble back when he had just joined the sect. "Ning Feng, you sent someone to kill me during the test. Before I could hunt you down, you've come here yourself." There was a cold glint in Lu Ming's eyes as he got up, opened the door, and walked out. After exiting his room, he saw that Pang Shi and Hua Qi had gone out as well. Evidently, they were startled as well. "Senior brother Lu, what's going on?" Pang Shi wore a worried expression. "Everything's fine." Lu Ming grinned. "Lu Ming, you'd better hurry up and show yourself." Ning Feng's voice rose again, rumbling across a vast distance. Creak. Lu Ming opened the gates of the courtyard and walked out. Standing outside the courtyard were 7 or 8 youths. Ning Feng was heading the group with Yin Kai actually beside him. As for the others, they had overbearing auras as well. Clearly, they were senior apprentices of the Vermilion Bird Hall. Lu Ming, you're finally out. I'd thought you were cowering like a tortoise in its shell. Ning Feng glared at Lu Ming icily as he spoke. In the depths of his gaze, there was a flash of deadly intent. Lu Ming had far surpassed his expectations. During the newbies test, along with the Duanmu family's cooperation, Ning Feng had sent a Master Realm expert to kill Lu Ming. Despite all that, he did not manage to kill him. To their outrage, Lu Ming had even become the apprentice champion. The moment Ning Feng heard about this, he had practically leaped up in shock. Lu Ming's talent exceeded his imagination. He must kill Lu Ming before the latter grew even stronger. Cower like a tortoise? Ning Feng, why would I do that just because of someone like you? Lu Ming said breezily as he stared at Ning Feng. Heh, Lu Ming, don't think that you can act so impudently just because you've achieved the hollow title as the apprentice champion. In my eyes, you're nothing. Furthermore, your apprentice champion position was merely seized through underhanded methods. Lu Ming, do you know that you've committed a great crime? You should be kneeling down in confession. Ning Feng bellowed. By this point, the whole area had been disturbed. People started popping out of their courtyards. It was not just the new apprentices. Most of them were senior apprentices. All of them observed the situation, discussing animatedly. Why is Ning Feng looking for Lu Ming? Is there bad blood between them? I don't know. Still, Ning Feng's father is the chief elder of the Vermilion Bird Hall. Thanks to his father's authority, he's always been arrogant and tyrannical, and he's used to pushing others around. To think that Lu Ming is the target this time. I heard that on the day Lu Ming joined the sect, he disrespected Ning Feng, causing Ning Feng to be publicly humiliated. No wonder. Ning Feng's energy was aggressive, but Lu Ming was not afraid in the slightest. Ning Feng, there's no need for malicious slander. What have I done wrong? What wrong? Let me ask you. During the test, junior brother Yin Kai obtained that 500-point medal piece initially. However, out of your own selfish desires, you colluded with the apprentices of other halls to intercept him, causing him to lose the 500-point medal piece. The position of apprentice champion originally belonged to junior brother Yin Kai. Not only that, in order to snatch the 500-point medal piece, you brutally murdered the genius apprentice of my Vermilion Bird Hall, Yuan Lang. Such behavior makes one's blood boil. You should die 10,000 deaths for your sins. Now, shouldn't you be kneeling down to accept your punishment? Ning Feng roared furiously with a domineering aura. Not far away, some of the senior apprentices were conversing. Ning Feng really knows how to pin the blame on someone. Isn't that so? In the mystical sword sect, there were rules, and one of them included the fact that those from the same sect must not kill one another. However, at certain times and in certain places, there were exceptions such as in a life-or-death fight or during the newbies test. The newbies test was a long tradition in the mystical sword sect. In truth, everyone was well aware that the test would verify one's full capabilities. During the test, any method was fair game, including killing. Nonetheless, this was an unspoken rule that must not be proclaimed aloud. Otherwise, it was indeed a crime to kill someone from the same sect. However, which year's apprentice champion did not kill anyone during the test? It was impossible. This was clearly a trumped-up charge. Ning Feng, did you come here to say this? With this idiotic excuse? I don't have time to entertain your nonsense. With that, Lu Ming turned around to go in. He could not be bothered with Ning Feng's bullshit. Damn you! Lu Ming's attitude set Ning Feng's teeth on edge before he howled, Brazen Lu Ming, do you even respect the sect's rules? Kneel down at once. Swoosh! Ning Feng's palm slammed toward Lu Ming. The force from his palm created a whistle in the air. If this strike hit its target, Lu Ming would be gravely injured, if not killed. Senior brother Lu Ming, Be careful. Pang Shi warned. Boom. At the crucial point, Lu Ming promptly twisted around and struck with the flame dragon fist. Bam! Lu Ming's fist and Ningfeng's palm collided. There was a deafening rumble. Thud, thud, thud. Lu Ming took 5 steps back. He shuddered and coughed up a mouthful of blood. You're the so-called apprentice champion. You're more like a piece of trash. Today, I'll cripple you, then take my time interrogating you. Ningfeng's expression was cruel as he spoke disdainfully. Following that, he stepped out and slammed his palm down on Lu Ming. Trying to cripple me? I'll make you pay a painful price too. Lu Ming gripped his sword hilt as his eyes blazed viciously. He decided to explode his blood meridian. Even if he had to suffer Ningfeng's palm strike, he would make him pay. Stop right there. However, just then, a delicate voice rang out as a figure dashed over like lightning. A burst of powerful palm force shot toward Ningfeng. The palm force was fierce and intense and was no weaker than Ningfeng's. Ningfeng had no choice but to turn back and counter the blow. Bam! 2 palms clashed, and Ningfeng's figure trembled slightly. Yuan Hui, it's you. Why did you stop me? When Ningfeng saw who it was, his expression shifted. Lu Ming was flabbergasted as well. The one who had attacked was a young lady who was around 18 years old and was extremely pretty. Still, Lu Ming did not know her. Why would she step in to help him? However, he understood in the next instant. Another figure came flying over. It was Feng Wu. Lu Ming, are you all right? Don't worry. Senior Sister Yuan is with Big Sis Mulan. She won't let Ningfeng do as he pleases. Feng Wu looked at Lu Ming with a glimmer of concern in her eyes. I'm fine. Lu Ming beamed. Yuan Hui said, Ningfeng, I might as well tell you that Lu Ming got in through a recommendation from Elder Mulan. Surely now you know why I stopped you. What? Elder Mulan? When Ningfeng heard Mulan's name, he turned solemn all of a sudden. On the side, Yin Kai's face had sunk as well. How could Lu Ming be so lucky? Damn it! Yin Kai clenched his jaw. Initially, he had rejoiced inwardly when he saw Lu Ming being injured by Ningfeng. However, Yuan Hui had popped up unexpectedly. Now that you know this, you'd better leave at once. Yuan Hui glared at Ningfeng. Ningfeng's eyes gleamed, then flared up with resentment. Yuan Hui, so what if Lu Ming was recommended by Elder Mulan? He killed someone from the same sect. Such a despicable act must be severely punished. Otherwise, everyone will disregard the rules in the future. Won't that cause utter chaos? Chapter 52. Chapter 52. A Fight After a Month. Ningfeng, do you have to come up with such crude excuses just to target me? Why don't we go to the magistrate elder and determine whether I'm guilty? Lu Ming cast a scornful glance at Ningfeng. Why do we have to go to the magistrate elder for such a small matter? Ningfeng laughed coldly. At this point, Pang Shi came forward, scratching his head with a guileless expression. Senior brother Ning, this is where you're wrong. I'm a new apprentice who has just participated in the test as well. During the test, killing each other is very common. I saw a senior brother being murdered by someone from the Duanmu family. Senior brother Ning, why didn't you lead your crew to capture that apprentice from the Duanmu family? That's right, Ningfeng. If you're so devoted to being righteous, go and seize that guy from the Duanmu family. All you can do is whine and complain here. Aren't you embarrassed? Feng Wu stood beside Lu Ming and scoffed with her pretty face. Ningfeng's face darkened all at once. He had just been asked to seize an apprentice from the Duanmu family. How could he possibly do that? Instantly, he shot an unfriendly look at Pang Shi and berated, "And who are you again? How dare you speak in this manner to me?" After that, he looked towards Yuan Hui and shouted, "Yuan Hui, step aside at once. Ningfeng, defeat me if you can. Otherwise, you can forget about harming a single hair on Lu Ming's head." Yuan Hui was unyielding. Seeing that Yuan Hui was being so steadfast, Ningfeng's gaze flitted around uncertainly before landing on Lu Ming once more. Lu Ming, what kind of apprentice champion are you? Is hiding behind women all you can do? Ningfeng, you've been enrolled for 4-5 years, haven't you? And you have the nerve to say that. How about this? You and Lu Ming shall fight after a year. How does that sound? Yuan Hui suggested. Senior Sister Yuan, why wait for a year? A month is enough. Lu Ming stepped out and faced Ningfeng directly. Ningfeng, I hereby challenge you. After 1 month, we shall meet on the Vermilion Bird stage for a battle to the death. Are you brave enough? His clear voice carried over a long distance, arousing a loud clamor. What? Is Lu Ming challenging Ningfeng? And the fight will be in a month. Does he have a death wish? Ningfeng has already reached the top of the 6th grade master realm. Apparently, he's only a step away from the 7th grade master realm. Moreover, he's been working hard to hone a superior yellow-level martial arts technique for nearly 5 years. He's already reached the 5th stage, which is perfect divine-like usage. Yet, Lu Ming dares to challenge him within a month? That's right. Lu Ming's cultivation is only at 4th grade master realm at most. It's impossible for him to defeat Ningfeng in a month. He's too arrogant. I think that after he became the apprentice champion, he's acquired this blind confidence. He doesn't know his own strength. Those who were commenting were mostly senior apprentices who all felt that Lu Ming was being too arrogant. Ningfeng's eyes flashed with a gleeful light. Lu Ming, are you challenging me in a month's time? That's right. Do you have the guts? Lu Ming said. What's there to be afraid of? I accept your challenge. Ningfeng guffawed. Based on Lu Ming's talent, surpassing Ningfeng in a year might not be a problem, but doing so a month from now was impossible. Lu Ming was asking for it. Since Yuan Hui stopped Ningfeng today, he might as well accept the challenge. He would slay Lu Ming in front of everyone in a month. At the thought of killing an apprentice champion, he was endlessly invigorated. Lu Ming, I hope that in a month, you won't be cowering like a tortoise in its shell, Ningfeng taunted. I was just about to say that to you, Lu Ming retorted. Big talk doesn't mean anything. Let's go. Ningfeng waved his hand and swaggered off with the other senior apprentices. After Ningfeng and the rest had left, Feng Wu spoke rather anxiously, Lu Ming, you're too rash. How can you challenge Ningfeng, and within 1 month at that? That's right. You could have promised to fight him in a year or even 6 months. With me around, Ningfeng can't do anything against you, Yuan Hui frowned as she chimed in. She felt that Lu Ming was too cocky and she did not quite like this sort of pride. One would suffer sooner or later. Lu Ming smiled. It's fine. Still, I must thank you for your help today, Senior Sister Yuan. There's no need for that. I did so in consideration of Elder Mulan. I hope that you'll do well for yourself. After saying that, Yuan Hui turned to leave. Lu Ming, train diligently during this time. If you need help with anything, feel free to look for me, Feng Wu said. Lu Ming nodded. For sure. I'll be leaving then. She shot him a look, then went off as well. Senior brother Lu Ming, I believe that you'll certainly win, Pang Shi came over and assured her. How could it be that easy to beat Ningfeng? Let me tell you. Ningfeng's cultivation has apparently reached the top of the 6th grade master realm. Plus, his father is a chief elder of the Vermilion Bird Hall, Hua Qi said coldly from the side. Lu Ming smiled faintly. Although Hua Qi appeared aloof, he was actually concerned, hence he was warning Lu Ming. I believe in senior brother Lu Ming, the apprentice champion. Pang Shi cracked a wide grin. How naive. Hua Qi shook his head and returned to the courtyard. The top of the 6th grade master realm, is that it? Lu Ming muttered with a determined look. After exchanging a few words with Pang Shi, he went down from Vermilion Bird Peak and headed towards the Mystical Sword Sect's Contribution Hall. The Mystical Sword Sect's Contribution Hall was near the center of the 4 halls and was the busiest place in the Mystical Sword Sect. As the center of the 4 halls, Qilin Hall was in this area, along with the Contribution Hall, the Mission Hall, and so on. Lu Ming decided to go to the contribution hall and see if there were any blood mist rocks he could exchange. After half an hour, he arrived at the contribution hall, which spanned dozens of hectares. It was very spacious with throngs of crowds that livened up the place. Small rooms were built in the four corners of the hall. Lu Ming noticed that a person would come out before someone else could go in. Each time someone entered, a sign saying "occupied" would be hung on the door of the small room. This was to safeguard the privacy of the apprentices in the halls. After all, some apprentices might be exchanging precious items. If those with ill intentions learned of this, it might be detrimental to those apprentices. Lu Ming looked around and noticed a room from which someone was coming out. He then hurriedly entered that room. The space inside was not very large. There was a table along with some chairs. At one side was the counter, by which sat an old man with esilaviri hair. When the old man saw Lu Ming, he beamed and asked, "Young one, are you exchanging items for contribution points? Or contribution points for items?" "Senior, I want to ask if there are blood mist rocks here that I can exchange for?" Lu Ming asked and stared at the old man expectantly. "Blood mist rocks? You want to exchange items for blood mist rocks?" The old man raised an eyebrow and asked in astonishment. "Were they unavailable?" Lu Ming's heart leaped as he asked, "Senior, are there no blood mist rocks here?" "There are, of course, but the price of blood mist rocks isn't low. One caddy of blood mist rocks costs 3,000 sect contribution points," the old man said. Despite being mentally prepared, this price still made Lu Ming gasp in shock. "What? 3,000 sect contribution points?" Chapter 53. Chapter 53, Spending Money Like Water. 3,000 sect contribution points were equivalent to 300,000 taels of esilavir. Furthermore, Lu Ming needed 1.5 caddies of blood mist rock, which meant that he needed 4,500 contribution points. He only had 7,000 contribution points. In one go, 2/3 would be gone. "Young buddy, are you still going to make the exchange?" the old man asked with a smile. "I'll do it, of course. I'll exchange for it," Lu Ming said through gritted teeth. No matter how many contribution points it required, he would make the exchange. Regardless of how many contribution points he had, their true value would only manifest if he converted them into power. If he simply hoarded them, they were just a bunch of numbers. The old man was slightly taken aback. He noticed that Lu Ming was not very old, so he thought he could not afford it. He was surprised to think that Lu Ming could actually hand over so many contribution points. Lu Ming took out his identity jade piece and passed it to the old man. "Senior, here's my identity jade piece." The old man took Lu Ming's identity jade piece and placed it on a disc-like metal platform. The metal platform flickered brightly. Then, a row of words appeared. This was Lu Ming's personal information. When the old man read his personal information, he was slightly startled before breaking out into a grin. "So, you're this year's apprentice champion, Lu Ming. Ha, honored to meet you." "You're too kind, senior. Apprentice champion is merely an empty title." Lu Ming shook his head. The old man nodded. Despite obtaining the apprentice champion position, Lu Ming was still modest. His impression of Lu Ming improved tremendously. Following that, he swiped a few times across the metal platform. Lu Ming noticed that the words were changing. His 7,000 contribution points became 2,500 in an instant. After the contribution points were deducted, the old man returned the identity jade piece to Lu Ming. Following that, he turned and disappeared into a door behind him. After a while, he returned with a metal box in his hand. "The blood mist rock is inside. There's precisely 1.5 caddies. Have a look," the old man said with a smile. Lu Ming took it and opened the metal box in anticipation. A fist-sized blood-red rock was inside, cut into a neat square. The strange thing was that above the rock, there was a floating layer of pale red mist. The blood mist rock. I've finally gathered the 3 most important treasures. I can cultivate the true war dragon technique to the 2nd stage now. Lu Ming was filled with delight. After keeping the blood mist rock away, he added, "Senior, I need a few other things." Following that, Lu Ming listed out the other materials needed to cultivate the second stage of the true war dragon technique. These other materials were much cheaper. In total, they cost only 200 contribution points. After some thought, Lu Ming asked, "Senior, do you have demonic beast blood essence?" Demonic beast blood essence? That's a material needed by alchemists in refining pills and equipment. Are you actually an alchemist? The old man asked, stunned. Lu Ming shook his head. No, I have other uses for it. The old man nodded and did not question further. He merely said, "What level of demonic beast blood essence do you need?" 4th and 5th grade 2nd level, Lu Ming replied. The old man said, "A portion of 4th grade 2nd level demonic beast blood essence costs 50 contribution points, while a portion of 5th grade 2nd level demonic beast blood essence costs 100 contribution points," the old man responded. "It's that expensive?" Lu Ming gasped in shock once again. 4th grade 2nd level demonic beast blood essence cost 50 contribution points per portion, which was equivalent to 5,000 taels of Esilavir. One should know that a single superior first-level spiritual weapon was less than 5,000 taels of Esilavir. This was truly outrageously overpriced. The old man smiled and explained, "Young buddy, it's actually not that expensive. You should know that once a demonic beast dies, the vitality of its blood essence will dissipate after an hour and lose its effect." That's right. Lu Ming nodded. He was well aware of this. When his spirit-devouring worm blood meridian consumed the blood essence of demonic beasts or humans, it must be done within an hour of their death. Otherwise, the blood chi would evaporate and it would have no effect. Therefore, in order to preserve the demonic beast blood essence, a spirit-sealing crystal must be used. This crystal is a single-use item. Moreover, the higher the level of the demonic beast blood essence, the higher the quality of the spirit-sealing crystal must be. Thus, the price of the demonic beast's blood essence is so expensive, the old man continued his explanation. Lu Ming nodded. He knew that this was the reason. "Senior, give me 10 portions each of 4th and 5th grade 2nd level demonic beast blood essence," Lu Ming said with a clenched jaw. In order to rapidly improve his cultivation in 1 month, he could only devour demonic beast blood essence. As for going out into the wild to hunt down demonic beasts, it was too inefficient. Previously, in their test venue, other than the mutated black-scaled monitor lizard, the highest level of the demonic beasts was only at 4th grade 2nd level. To hunt demonic beasts above 4th grade 2nd level, he would have to head into further, more dangerous territory. Even putting aside the level of risk, looking for a suitable demonic beast might take a long time and was not worth it at all. Purchasing demonic beast blood essence directly was the most convenient method. "Alright, I'll prepare your demonic beast blood essence," the old man said. After a moment, he came back with the demonic beast blood essence, and 1,500 contribution points were deducted from Lu Ming's account. All at once, he was left only with 700 contribution points. His rate of spending was terribly fast, and Lu Ming felt a pang in his heart. Still, being able to convert all this into more strength was worth it. Only by increasing his capability could he obtain more treasures and contribution points. After putting the demonic beast blood essence and the blood mist rock away, Lu Ming left the contribution hall and returned to his residence. Upon his return, he did not immediately tackle the second stage of the true war dragon technique because his cultivation was not fully fortified. His essential chi was not pure enough. Under such circumstances, it was difficult to cultivate the second stage of the true war dragon technique successfully. If he cultivated it recklessly, he might waste the precious materials that he had obtained through immense effort. Therefore, if he cultivated it, he must ensure success within a single attempt. Lu Ming continued to hone his true war dragon technique diligently. After 8 days, Lu Ming's cultivation was fully stable at last. Even so, he spent 2 more days assimilating the essential chi in his body until it was incomparably refined. Only then was he prepared to begin tackling the second stage of the true war dragon technique. Now I must prepare the materials. Lu Ming took out the spirit-condensing fruit, the blood of the lightning leopard, the blood mist rock, and other materials. He measured them out and mixed these according to the steps listed out in the true war dragon technique. Although he was not an alchemist, this was not a process of refining pills. It was a simple mixture that he could achieve easily. After these materials were mixed together, they formed a blood-red liquid that gave off a wisp of fragrance. Begin! After the materials were prepared, Lu Ming sat cross-legged on his head, then swallowed the resulting blood-red liquid all in one gulp. After swallowing it, this blood-red liquid seemed to erupt like a volcano, flaring up with waves of scorching energy that surged towards his meridian. Once it entered his meridian, it combined with his essential qi, and finally entered the qi cyclone in his dantian. Buzz buzz. This burst of energy was crackling with intense lightning as it started to refine Lu Ming's essential qi. Lu Ming mobilized the true war dragon technique at full force, working with this energy to charge towards the second stage of the true war dragon technique. Chapter 54. Chapter 54, Elder Mulan. After half a day, a rumble rose within Lu Ming's body like the faint roar of a dragon. The qi cyclone in his dantian started to revolver furiously as the spiritual energy of the world converged wildly upon his body. Lu Ming's body was like a bottomless pit that frantically consumed spiritual energy. Even Hua Qi and Pang Shi in the other two rooms were startled. This is Lu Ming's cultivation level. Has he broken through? Why is there such a massive reaction? The speed at which spiritual energy is being devoured is even scarier than a 5th level blood meridian. Did Lu Ming's blood meridian actually surpass the 5th level? Hua Qi's eyes widened in awe. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The commotion only died after a while. In the room, Lu Ming opened his eyes. The second stage of the true war dragon technique is finally cultivated. What rich and condensed essential qi! Lu Ming examined the surging compact essential qi in his body with an expression of ecstasy. Currently, his essential qi was 3 times that of most people. Of course, most people, in this context, meant those who cultivated the yellow level techniques. This was because the higher the level of a cultivated technique was, the more sorts of mystical abilities one would have. Then, the resulting essential qi cultivated from certain high-level techniques would be richer and denser. Of course, that could not possibly reach an extent as fearsome as the true war dragon technique. After that, Lu Ming got up and exited the room. Having cultivated for 10 days or so, he wanted to take a stroll outside and relax. The moment he was out of his room, he saw that Hua Qi and Pang Shi were walking out too. When Pang Shi noticed Lu Ming, he smiled and asked, "Senior brother Lu, are you going for the lecture as well?" Lecture? Lu Ming appeared blank. Yup, today an elder from the Vermilion Bird Hall is giving us a lecture, covering some information on cultivation as well as things to take note of. Senior brother Lu, didn't you know? Pang Shi patted his own head. Cough cough. Lu Ming gave a few awkward coughs. He truly did not know. These days, he had been busy cultivating and practically did not step out at all. Then let's go together, Lu Ming said with a grin. He had just finished his period of seclusion, so he could go and listen. Lu Ming had only begun properly cultivating for a few months. During this time, his cultivation had improved by leaps and bounds. On the other hand, he had neglected certain basics, so attending the lecture would surely benefit him. Lu Ming and Pang Shi walked side by side while Hua Qi trailed behind with a stony expression. The elder's lecture was on the other side of Vermilion Bird Peak. There was a gigantic square in which cattail hassocks were arranged. At that moment, there were already a few hundred people sitting on the hassocks in the square. They were all newly enrolled apprentices. Look, Lu Ming is here. I've heard that after Lu Ming challenged senior brother Ning Feng, he went into seclusion. Now, he's finally shown up. When the apprentices saw Lu Ming, they could not refrain from exchanging whispers. Lu Ming could not be bothered about them and found a hassock to sit down on. As time passed, the audience grew. In the end, there were around 500 people. Initially, the Vermilion Bird Hall had 1,000 newly enrolled apprentices or so. However, during the test, about 200 of them were killed, leaving only 800 behind. There were also some who were in seclusion or otherwise occupied. This was common enough. Just then, a figure came flitting elegantly over the square. When Lu Ming noticed this figure, his eyes widened. Mulan. The figure was Mulan, whom he had not seen for a few months. She was wearing a tight, black dress in a unique style. So beautiful. As expected, there was a male apprentice beside Lu Ming who stared at Mulan with his mouth agape. He was practically drooling. He was not the only one. The other male apprentices in the square acted similarly. They wore dazed, lewd expressions as they stared at Mulan above them. Most of these apprentices were 15 to 16-year-old youths, bursting with hormones. How could they resist Mulan's charm? You're all depraved. Perverts. All the female apprentices were annoyed as they snorted coldly. All right, please be seated. Let me introduce myself. I'm Mulan, the elder who will be giving you a lecture today. Mulan's gaze circled around and paused upon Lu Ming. By Lu Ming's side, Pang Shi was astounded. What? She's the elder? How could she be so young? Don't you know anything? Let me tell you. Elder Mulan has outstanding talent and unparalleled beauty. She's only 20 years old, yet her cultivation is immeasurably profound. She's very likely to become the next gold-robed apprentice. Behind them, Hua Qi curled his lips. Still, his eyes fixed upon Mulan in an incomparably fervent manner. Is she that incredible? Then, how did she become an elder? Pang Shi asked curiously. In the mystical sword sect, true prodigies would not become elders. The roles of elders and attendants usually fell upon those who were older, or in other words, those whose potential had been exhausted. Mulan's current age was the prime of her cultivation. Furthermore, she had such exceptional talent. It was rare for someone like her to become an elder. I don't know either. There aren't many who would know why Elder Mulan suddenly chose to become an elder. Elder Mulan is my goddess. My goal is to become a preeminent expert and succeed wooing her. Hua Qi wore the expression of a love-struck fool. Above them, Mulan sat cross-legged on a cattail hassock and said, "All right, let's begin the lecture. First of all, let's talk about the novice realm." She started to discuss some details regarding the novice realm, explaining the aspects to pay attention to, as well as the purpose of this realm. Her lecture was very detailed and covered all areas. After she finished speaking about the novice realm, she moved on to the warrior realm, then the master realm. Lu Ming listened very closely. There were actually many things he had not noticed before, or simply had not understood. After the lecture, he felt that he had learned a lot. Moreover, he was secretly stunned by the depths of Mulan's learning and the keenness of her understanding. The lecture lasted for 2 hours before Mulan stopped. All right, that's all for today. You may leave. She waved her hand, then directed her gaze at Lu Ming and called out, "Lu Ming, stay behind." Very well. Lu Ming was slightly taken aback and quickly nodded. Even so, Mulan's words had caused another stir of whispers. Why did Elder Mulan ask Lu Ming to stay? Do they know each other? Surely Elder Mulan hasn't taken a fancy to Lu Ming. Bah, how's that possible? Elder Mulan is my goddess, so it's definitely impossible. Oh, how I envy Lu Ming. He gets to be alone with Elder Mulan. Ah, Elder Mulan is really drop-dead gorgeous. If I can marry her, I'll be willing to give up 10 years of my life. Stop daydreaming. The apprentices all around stared at Lu Ming with envy, admiration, and resentment. Lu Ming smiled bitterly. Mulan's charm was truly too powerful. How could this be? Why would Elder Mulan ask Lu Ming alone to stay back? Lu Ming, you'd better behave honorably. Otherwise, I'll have to deal with you. Hua Qi glowered at Lu Ming in anguish. wishing desperately that it was he who got to stay behind. Lu Ming scratched his nose somewhat speechlessly and went towards Mulan. After a moment, everyone dispersed from the square, leaving only Mulan and Lu Ming behind. Both of them sat facing each other. Chapter 55. Chapter 55, 4th Grade Master Realm. Lu Ming, after a few months apart, you haven't disappointed me indeed. Mulan wore a pondering smile, her large eyes shining as she gazed at Lu Ming. There was none of the solemnity from her lecture just now. Lu Ming's heart was pounding erratically from being at such a close distance to her. Elder Mulan, why did you ask me to stay behind? Mulan grinned. There's no need to be so formal. Treat me as your senior sister. Senior Sister Mu. Lu Ming performed a fist salute. Lu Ming, you've caused quite an uproar indeed. You've become the apprentice champion just after enrolling. To be honest, it's beyond my expectations. Mulan scrutinized him carefully for a moment, then asked in a curious manner, during the test, you're the one who killed Duanmu Ju, weren't you? That's right. Lu Ming did not hide the truth. In fact, something like this would be easily surmised, so there was no need to cover it up. I knew it. Still, you must be careful. Duanmu Ju was a rare genius of the Duanmu family. They won't let you get away with it so easily. Plus, you've challenged Ningfeng. Are you sure about victory? Mulan asked rather worriedly. I'm about 60–70% sure. Lu Ming declared. 60 to 70%? Looks like you're very confident. Mulan stared at Lu Ming, flabbergasted. He just smiled faintly. You should know a little about Ningfeng's strength, but did you know that his father is the chief elder of the Vermilion Bird Hall? Mulan asked. I do. Lu Ming nodded. He had learned about this from Hua Qi. The elders of Mystical Sword sect were divided into ordinary elders, Silavira-robed elders, and gold-robed elders. Silavira-robed elders and gold-robed elders had substantial authority as their position held great weight. As for ordinary elders, most of them held hollow titles and they did not have much power. Even so, amongst the ordinary elders, there was a type of elder who had immense authority, and that was the chief elder. The chief elder was the highest rank among the ordinary elders, second only to Silavira-robed elders. Of course, his cultivation was formidable as well. Lu Ming had once heard Feng Wu mention that Mulan was a chief elder in the Vermilion Bird Hall. However, there's one thing you're definitely unaware of. Ningfeng's father has pledged allegiance to the Duanmu family. Therefore, this time around, the Duanmu family will surely support Ningfeng with all they have. Ningfeng is already a top 6th grade master in the first place. What I'm most afraid of is that he'll achieve a breakthrough in this period. Mulan's expression was serious. The Duanmu family again. Lu Ming's eyes flashed icily. Therefore, Lu Ming, if you need any help from me, please ask, Mulan said. Really? In that case, Senior Sister Mulan, can you lend me 3,000 contribution points? Lu Ming stared at Mulan anxiously. He only had 700 contribution points now. It was hardly empowering, so it would be better to borrow some as a reserve. 3,000 contribution points? Why do you need so many contribution points? Your newbie's test awarded you with 7,000 contribution points, didn't it? I've used them up. Used up. Mulan was rather speechless. He used 7,000 contribution points up in such a short time. Did Lu Ming eat his contribution points or something? That's right, they're used up. Senior Sister Mulan, could you lend me some? He pouted at Mulan pitifully. All right, give me your identity jade piece, she said. Lu Ming took out his identity jade piece and handed it to her. After she took it and then took out her own identity jade piece. She placed the two identity jade pieces together, then channeled her essential qi. The light of the jade pieces started to twinkle. Mulan's soft, smooth fingers swiped over her identity jade piece a few times, following which the glow of the identity jade pieces slowly dimmed. When Lu Ming took back his identity jade piece and looked, He had an additional 3,000 contribution points. Lu Ming, when you've earned some contribution points, you must pay me back. You know very well that women have huge expenses. Mulan fixed Lu Ming with her unwavering stare with distress plain on her face. How petty of you when you were just proudly announcing that I should ask you if I need any help. Lu Ming muttered to himself darkly. What did you say? Mulan gave him a sudden glare that pinned him down viciously. Nothing, I didn't say anything. Senior Sister Mulan, I'm going back to cultivate. Lu Ming tore off in a hurry. As she stared into the direction where Lu Ming had left, Mulan's face broke into a smile again, and she said softly, How interesting. Lu Ming, I hope you don't disappoint me. Although it's still a long way from now, one day you just might have a chance to enter that place. Well, with that she got up and left as well. Upon returning to his residence, Lu Ming went into the Supreme Shrine, then sat down cross-legged. He took out a jade box and opened it. 10 crystal pieces were nestled inside. Each of these crystals was sealed in 9 blood-red drops of blood essence. These 10 crystals contained 4th grade 2nd level demonic beast blood essence. Lu Ming picked up a piece and pinched it forcefully. Inscriptions flickered upon the surface of the spirit sealing crystal. Snap! Following that, the spirit sealing crystal shattered into a pile of fragments. 9 drops of demonic beast blood essence floated up. Devour! Lu Ming immediately controlled his blood meridian to create a powerful suction, consuming the 9 drops of blood essence. In a short while, they were transformed into energy that surged throughout his body. Lu Ming activated the true War Dragon technique, starting to absorb and cultivate this energy. His cultivation level swiftly advanced. Soon enough, the blood essence of a single demonic beast was fully processed. The vital energy contained within the blood essence is less potent than that from a fresh kill. Lu Ming was carefully evaluating the situation. This was to be expected. Although the spirit sealing crystal could seal off energy loss, it was not 100% effective. Some of it would still be lost regardless. Let's go on. Lu Ming shattered a second spirit sealing crystal and began cultivating. In a flash, a whole day passed. The 10 portions of 4th grade 2nd level demonic beast blood essence had been completely cultivated. Even so, Lu Ming's cultivation did not progress to the 4th grade master realm. He was still at the top of the 3rd grade master realm. As expected, after honing the 2nd stage of the true War Dragon technique, it takes up even more energy. Lu Ming pondered hopelessly. Before this, at the 1st stage of the true War Dragon technique, the density of his essential chi was 2 times greater than ordinary essential chi. At that time, the energy required to advance his cultivation was 3 times more than other essential chi. Now that the density of his essential chi was 3 times greater than usual, the required energy was 9 times more than other essential chi. It was a terrifying 9-fold increase. Another aspect was that his blood meridian still had not leveled up. It was still a 3rd level blood meridian. He had consumed the blood essence of 10 4th grade 2nd level demonic beasts, yet he still had not leveled up. Logically, his blood meridian should have increased in level. Was a 3rd level blood meridian really his limit? Lu Ming would not accept that. I don't care. You reap what you sow, after all. I'll go on cultivating. He took out another jade box. This one contained 10 portions of 5th grade 2nd level demonic beast blood essence. Following that, he began to devour and refine the 5th grade 2nd level demonic beast blood essence. As expected of a 5th grade 2nd level demonic beast blood essence, the vital energy it contained was many times more than that of a 4th grade 2nd level. After Lu Ming had processed the blood essence of 6 5th grade 2nd level demonic beasts, his cultivation finally experienced a breakthrough, reaching the 4th grade master realm. Chapter 56. Chapter 56, Evil-Levert Blood Meridian. Lu Ming opened his eyes and a radiant gleam flashed in his eyes. 4th grade master realm. The devouring speed of the blood essence is terrifying indeed. It only took a day for me to go from the beginner stage of the 3rd grade master realm to the 4th grade master realm. However, this isn't enough. Ningfeng's a top 6th grade master, and no one knows if he'll break through this time. I've got to improve further. Lu Ming made his way to the contribution hall once again. This time, he exchanged the 80,000 taels of Esilavir he got from Duanmuju into sect contribution points. 80,000 taels of Esilavir were equivalent to 800 sect contribution points. With his own 700 points, and the 3,000 points Lu Ming borrowed from Mulan, he had a total of 4,500 points, and he exchanged everything with demonic beast's blood essence. Lu Ming got 15 portions of 5th grade 2nd level demonic beast's blood essence and another 15 portions of 6th grade 2nd level demonic beast's blood essence. In the blink of an eye, he finished all his sect contribution points. Poor, I'm simply too poor. Lu Ming sighed. He continued with his cultivation when he got back to his room. 2 days later, Lu Ming had devoured a total of 19 5th grade 2nd level demonic beast blood essence, including the 4 portions he previously purchased. His cultivation reached the top of the 4th grade master realm, so he was just a sliver more to the peak of the top of the 4th grade master realm. After the 5th grade 2nd level demonic beast's blood essences, Lu Ming continued devouring 6th grade 2nd level demonic beast's blood essences. With merely 3 portions, Lu Ming's cultivation reached peak top 4th grade master realm. As he continued devouring 3 more 6th grade 2nd level demonic beast's blood essence, there were no signs of improvement in his cultivation, which meant that he had no hope of reaching the 5th grade master realm anytime soon. My cultivation was raised too quickly. My essential chi's tainted and my foundations shaky. I've got to stop to consolidate and reinforce my cultivation. Lu Ming laughed bitterly. Lu Ming focused fully on reinforcing his cultivation, temporarily putting devouring blood essence aside. He also practiced his martial arts techniques in his spare time. 10 days had passed, and it was barely 2 days away from the agreement with Ning Feng a month ago. In the span of these 10 days, Lu Ming's Flame Dragon Fist had reached the 6th stage, one with the martial arts. However, no matter how much Lu Ming practiced, his lustrous sword technique remained stagnant at the 5th stage. Besides that, he was almost done reinforcing his cultivation. I'll start breaking through now. Lu Ming started attempting cultivation breakthroughs after devouring more 6th grade 2nd level demonic beast's blood essences. Roar! The demonic beast's blood essence transformed into streams of dragon-like essential chi that grew larger as they soared in Lu Ming's meridians. Eventually, all the dragon-like essential chi gathered at the chi cyclone in the Dantian. Whoosh whoosh. After 1.5 days, Lu Ming's chi cyclone spun quickly, and with a shudder, it expanded to 2 times its original size. I've finally broken through to 5th grade master realm. Lu Ming opened his eyes happily. Buzz! He felt a numbing sensation on his spine, and in a burst of red light, a finger-sized spirit-devouring worm appeared, tumbling about in the air. The spirit-devouring worm began to lengthen and thicken. In 2 hours, it became like a small snake that was as thick as a thumb and about 50 centimeters long. Yes, it did look like a little black, scaly snake hovering in the air. There were 4 bright red meridian focal points on that little snake. In terms of advancement, Lu Ming's blood meridians had finally advanced, but they needed more blood essence than expected. This advancement also came with a change in appearance for Lu Ming's blood meridian. I don't think I can call this a worm anymore, right? Should I change its name to snake? Lu Ming was confused. This was unheard of, a blood meridian that could advance in levels and evolve. I'm not sure if it'll continue evolving in the future. You know what? I'll just call it the Spirit Devourer then. Lu Ming thought enthusiastically. In one of the more spacious courtyards in the Vermilion Bird Hall stood 2 figures. It was Ning Feng and the other one was Ning Kong, his father. Feng, how confident are you in defeating Lu Ming? Ning Kong asked. Don't worry, Dad, I'll surely kill Lu Ming on the Vermilion Bird stage, Ning Feng replied confidently. Don't undervalue your enemy, Feng. This Lu Ming's the apprentice champion, and he initiated the challenge, so he must have something up his sleeve. Don't underestimate him, Ning Kong advised. Ning Feng laughed and said, I wouldn't be so sure before this, Dad, but my cultivation broke through to another level yesterday. You broke through? Feng, did you just say you broke through? Ning Kong was overjoyed. Yes, Dad. Ning Feng chuckled. An aura stronger than a top 6th grade master radiated from within him. Good, I'm more at ease now. The Duanmu family has placed a lot of emphasis on this matter, so as long as you kill Lu Ming, our position in the Duanmu family will rise to greater heights. The Duanmu family is gradually growing in power and influence, which means we'll be in a better place if we continue serving them faithfully. Ning Kong laughed as he passed a jade bottle to Ning Feng. Feng, here's a spirit-exploding pill I've requested from the Duanmu family. It was meant for you to kill Lu Ming, but since you have broken through in your cultivation, you probably won't need it. Still, bring it with you just in case. Thanks, Dad. Ning Feng took the jade bottle. Alright, time's almost up. Let's head over to the Vermilion Bird stage, said Ning Kong. On the other side, Lu Ming packed up and walked out of his room only to see Hua Qi and Pang Shi waiting for him. Senior brother Lu will go with you, Pang Shi said. Don't you dare lose, Lu Ming. You can only lose to me, apprentice champion, Hua Qi said coldly. Let's go. Lu Ming smiled and walked out of the doorway. The Vermilion Bird stage was located on the east side of the foot of the Vermilion Bird Peak. It was very spacious since it was specially designed for hall apprentices to duel against each other. At that moment, there were already thousands of people crowding around the Vermilion Bird Hall. Some were new apprentices, but there were mostly senior apprentices and elders were present. It was unheard of to have the newly emerged apprentice champion challenging a senior apprentice who was 4 to 5 years older to a duel. Many were there because they were intrigued. Where did Lu Ming get that confidence and courage from? Suddenly, a voice rang out. Chief Elder Ning Kong's here. Ning Feng's here too. Ning Feng and Ning Kong walked in together with a troop of people by their side. The same bunch walked toward the upper area and headed towards one of the viewing platforms. Elder Mu Lan's here too. Really? What? An even larger commotion erupted. Mulan walked in daintily with her group, which included Feng Wu and Yuan Hui. They too made their way to the viewing platform in the upper area. Chapter 56. Chapter 56, Eva Levert Blood Meridian. Lu Ming opened his eyes and a radiant gleam flashed in his eyes. 4th grade Master Realm. The devouring speed of the blood essence is terrifying indeed. It only took a day for me to go from the beginner stage of the 3rd grade Master Realm to the 4th grade Master Realm. However, this isn't enough. Ning Feng's a top 6th grade master, and no one knows if he'll break through this time. I've got to improve further. Lu Ming made his way to the contribution hall once again. This time, he exchanged the 80,000 taels of Esilavir he got from Duanmu into sect contribution points. 80,000 taels of Esilavir were equivalent to 800 sect contribution points. With his own 700 points, and the 3,000 points Lu Ming borrowed from Mulan, he had a total of 4,500 points, and he exchanged everything with Demonic Beast's blood essence. Lu Ming got 15 portions of 5th grade 2nd level Demonic Beast's blood essence and another 15 portions of 6th grade 2nd level Demonic Beast's blood essence. In the blink of an eye, he finished all his sect contribution points. Poor, I'm simply too poor. Lu Ming sighed. He continued with his cultivation when he got back to his room. 2 days later, Lu Ming had devoured a total of 19 5th grade 2nd level Demonic Beast blood essence, including the 4 portions he previously purchased. His cultivation reached the top of the 4th grade Master Realm, so he was just a sliver more to the peak of the top of the 4th grade Master Realm. After the 5th grade 2nd level Demonic Beast's blood essences, Lu Ming continued devouring 6th grade 2nd level demonic beasts' blood essences. With merely 3 portions, Lu Ming's cultivation reached peak top 4th grade master realm. As he continued devouring 3 more 6th grade 2nd level demonic beasts' blood essence, there were no signs of improvement in his cultivation, which meant that he had no hope of reaching the 5th grade master realm anytime soon. My cultivation was raised too quickly. My essential chi's tainted and my foundations shaky. I've got to stop to consolidate and reinforce my cultivation. Lu Ming laughed bitterly. Lu Ming focused fully on reinforcing his cultivation, temporarily putting devouring blood essence aside. He also practiced his martial arts techniques in his spare time. 10 days had passed, and it was barely 2 days away from the agreement with Ning Feng a month ago. In the span of these 10 days, Lu Ming's Flame Dragon Fist had reached the 6th stage, one with the martial arts. However, no matter how much Lu Ming practiced, his lustrous sword technique remained stagnant at the 5th stage. Besides that, he was almost done reinforcing his cultivation. I'll start breaking through now. Lu Ming started attempting cultivation breakthroughs after devouring more 6th grade 2nd level demonic beasts' blood essences. Roar! The demonic beast's blood essence transformed into streams of dragon-like essential qi that grew larger as they soared in Lu Ming's meridians. Eventually, all the dragon-like essential qi gathered at the qi cyclone in the Dantian. Whoosh whoosh. After 1.5 days, Lu Ming's qi cyclone spun quickly, and with a shudder, it expanded to 2 times its original size. I've finally broken through to 5th grade master realm. Lu Ming opened his eyes happily. Buzz! He felt a numbing sensation on his spine, and in a burst of red light, a finger-sized spirit-devouring worm appeared, tumbling about in the air. The spirit-devouring worm began to lengthen and thicken. In 2 hours, it became like a small snake that was as thick as a thumb and about 50 centimeters long. Yes, it did look like a little black, scaly snake hovering in the air. There were 4 bright red meridian focal points on that little snake. In terms of advancement, Lu Ming's blood meridians had finally advanced, but they needed more blood essence than expected. This advancement also came with a change in appearance for Lu Ming's blood meridian. I don't think I can call this a worm anymore, right? Should I change its name to snake? Lu Ming was confused. Ming Kong scoffed. On the Vermilion Bird stage, Ning Feng roared in his heart, "This Lu Ming's crazy talented. Destroy him. I must kill him today, or else there'll no longer be a place for me in the Vermilion Bird Hall." Clang! His sword was unsheathed. Demonic wind sword technique tumbling clouds in the wind. At that same moment, Ning Feng unleashed his powers and sword qi exploded. He swung his sword and attacked Lu Ming with all his might, intending to kill. Lu Ming smirked coldly and unsheathed his own sword. His sword qi beamed like shooting stars, slicing the air with ear-piercing whistles. This was not the onyx blade sword, but the celestial star sword, the sword his father had left behind. The onyx blade sword was only a superior first-level spiritual weapon and was not strong enough for the duel with Ning Feng. On the other hand, the sword that Lu Ming's father left him was a superior second-level spiritual weapon. That was sufficient enough to exhibit his strength at full power. Clang! Both swords collided with a roaring clang. Both Lu Ming and Ning Feng shuddered. They continued fighting. Clang! Clang! As the swords collided, sword qi spewed everywhere. The 2 fighting figures were visually drowned by the constant beams of sword light. Strong, so strong. Lu Ming can actually duel with Ning Feng. Even with the demonic wind sword technique, Ning Feng's 5th stage superior yellow level sword technique, Lu Ming seems to be of equal fighting strength with his sword technique. Unbelievable. This duel's definitely worth watching. Senior apprentices could barely remain calm as they witnessed what was happening on stage. Demonic wind sword technique world execution through wind. Demonic wind sword technique mad hurricane wipeout. Ning Feng fought constantly with powerful moves from the demonic wind sword technique. In a flash, 50 moves were exchanged between both of them. Clang! Lu Ming and Ning Feng separated abruptly after a loud clang. I'll admit that you have pretty good skills to be able to duel with me like this, Lu Ming. But today you shall die. Now, let me show you what I'm capable of. Boom! There was a sudden blast that came from within Ning Feng, and his aura increased at an alarming speed as a mountain-like aura erupted from him. 7th Grade Master Realm. Ning Feng's a 7th Grade Master. Lu Ming is done for. A 7th Grade Master Realm is incomparable with a 6th Grade Master. Lu Ming's gonna die now that Ning Feng's broken through. What a waste of a super genius. So what if he's a genius? There are plenty of geniuses under the sun, and only God knows how many geniuses have died every year. Geniuses who don't live long are worth nothing. As soon as Ning Feng displayed his 7th Grade Master Realm cultivation, almost everyone thought that Lu Ming was done for. On the viewing platform, Mulan, Feng Wu, and the rest looked shocked and worried. Ha! Ning Kong roared with laughter and said, "You didn't expect it, didn't you, Mulan? This time, Lu Ming must die." There was a glint in Mulan's eyes, but she did not respond. Deep down, she was unsure too. Could Lu Ming withstand Ning Feng's blows? I'll show you my full strength now, Lu Ming. The only price you have to pay for witnessing this is death. Ning Feng boasted proudly as a blood-red light flashed above him. Blood Meridian Explosion. He had a 4th level Blood Meridian, so he had a 40% increase in power after his Blood Meridian explosion. Demonic Wind Sword technique tumbling clouds in the wind. Ning Feng's sword hacked towards Lu Ming accompanied by a howling gale that turned into beams of sword light. Although it was the same move, it was much stronger when compared to the one before that. That's more like it. On the Vermilion Bird stage, Lu Ming squinted and stomped heavily on stage. His body shot out like lightning. At the same time, his aura drastically increased as he shot out. Chapter 58. Chapter 58, Spirit Exploding Pill. Boom! A formidable aura erupted from within Lu Ming. His essential qi flowed freely around him as his hair fluttered. At that moment, Lu Ming's aura did not seem weaker than Ning Feng's. In the duel with Ning Feng just now, Lu Ming had only exerted 50% of his power. Now, he was giving it 100%. Clang! As Lu Ming and Ning Feng's swords violently collided, sparks flew everywhere. Beams of razor-sharp sword qi pierced through the air and shot everywhere. Boom! Boom! Both Lu Ming and Ning Feng stumbled a few steps backward after a hit. Damn it! That... Ning Feng roared as he attacked Lu Ming once more. Fight! Lu Ming's gaze hardened. His hair was blowing frantically in the wind as a strong fighting intent erupted from his body. He stomped hard and charged towards Ning Feng. Clang! Clang! As Lu Ming and Ning Feng's attacks continued to collide, there was formidable sword qi everywhere as a result of that show. It was a few dozen moves in just the blink of an eye. There was no clear winner at that point. How could this be? Impossible. How is Lu Ming so strong? Ning Feng was shocked beyond words. He was a 7th Grade Master Realm, and with his 5th stage superior yellow level sword technique that emphasized speed, he could say that his sword was as fast as lightning and as swift as the wind. Lu Ming could not only counter his attacks with a similar speed since his essential qi was no weaker than Ning Feng's. Little did he know that Lu Ming had cultivated a divine-level martial arts technique, so his essential qi was 3 times the viscosity of normal essential qi. At the first stage of the true War Dragon technique, Lu Ming could already kill an opponent a grade higher than he was. Now that Lu Ming was on the 2nd stage of the true War Dragon technique, even if Ning Feng was 2 grades higher than Lu Ming, he would have still lost to Lu Ming. Besides Ning Feng, all the people watching the duel were stupefied. Lu Ming could actually come to a tie with a 7th Grade Master Realm Ning Feng. It was unimaginable. Everyone held their breath as they watched the stage intently so as not to disturb the duo fighting on stage. Clang! Clang! On the Vermilion Bird stage, Ningfeng and Lu Ming continued to fight. 7th grade Master Realm isn't weak indeed. I can beat him as soon as I explode my blood meridians, but it's not the time for that yet. Besides, the blood meridian explosion time limit for the Master Realm is 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, Ningfeng will be no match for me, Lu Ming thought to himself. The two figures on stage intertwined constantly with sword chi shooting in all directions. They had exchanged about 100 attacks by that time. Suddenly, the blood-red light on Ningfeng dissipated rapidly. The time limit for his blood meridian explosion was up. Oh no! On the viewing platform, Ningfeng's expression changed. Clang! On the Vermilion Bird stage, Lu Ming and Ningfeng collided once more. Boom! This time, Ningfeng flew back upon impact. His face paled as blood trickled down the side of his mouth. Ningfeng's injured. The crowd rose to a clamor as they gawked at the stage. Ningfeng's blood meridian explosion time is up. It looks like he's gonna lose. Unexpectedly, Ningfeng isn't a match for Lu Ming. How incredible! Did you realize that Lu Ming's blood meridian has still not exploded? What? I didn't realize this. It seems like it's true. How shocking. Genius. Absolute genius. How is Lu Ming arrogant and conceited? He's clear and proud of his abilities. All around the Vermilion Bird stage, fellow elders, seniors, and new apprentices alike were all discussing what had happened chaotically. You can do it, senior brother Lu Ming. You're the best. Pang Shi waved his arms in the air excitedly while his face was bright red. Mighty senior brother Lu Ming. Shortly after, other apprentices started shouting at the top of their lungs. These were newly enrolled apprentices. They could not help but feel proud when they saw how strong Lu Ming, their fellow new apprentice, was. So what if you're a senior apprentice? We, the new apprentices, can still defeat you. Instantly, Lu Ming gained many fans. This fella. Hua Qi muttered as a sliver of respect crept deep within his eyes. He was usually proud, so when he first met Lu Ming, he had vowed to defeat him. However, he realized at that moment that Lu Ming's talents and potential were not what he could fathom. On the viewing platform, Yuan Hui and Feng Wu gaped and gawked. Yuan Hui was especially astonished. She had not been pleased when Lu Ming challenged Ningfeng to a duel a month ago. She thought he was being too vain. She understood now that Lu Ming was not arrogant. He was confident and clearly had boasting privileges. Ho ho Ningfeng, it looks like your precious son's gonna lose. Mu Lan had a full grin on her face while she giggled. Are you sure? Who's to determine the outcome of the battle now? Ningfeng said coldly as he clenched his fists tightly as the intent to kill flashed through his eyes. What? A bad feeling rose in Mu Lan's heart. On the Vermilion Bird stage, Lu Ming spoke calmly as he looked at Ningfeng. Ningfeng, your blood meridian explosion time is up. Now, to send you on your way. Haha, you want to defeat me? Dream on Lu Ming. You forced me to do this. Ningfeng let out a sinister laugh and popped a pill into his mouth. Boom! A powerful, brutal wave of aura exploded out of Ningfeng as he swallowed the pill. He was 2 times more formidable than before. Go to hell, Lu Ming! Ningfeng roared, his eyes turning bloodshot. He stomped so hard that the stage vibrated. Then, he transformed into a gale and attacked Lu Ming. I shouldn't tackle him head-on. Seriousness glinted in Lu Ming's eyes as he moved out of the way with dragon serpent steps. Unfortunately, he was still too late as Ningfeng's sword chi sliced towards him. Boom! Lu Ming blocked him forcefully with his sword as a gust of brutally sharp force threatened to overwhelm him, causing him to slide backward for 10 meters. On the viewing platform, Mu Lan shot up from her seat and bellowed furiously, Spirit-exploding pill. You're despicable, Ningfeng. How could you use spirit-exploding pills? This duel is no longer just. It ends right now. What do you think you're doing, Mulan? It's a battle to the death upon the Vermilion Bird stage. No one said anything about not allowing pills. Ning Kong stood up as well, smiling coldly. What battle to the death? It's no longer fair game if pills are involvered, Mulan barked as she attempted to rush onto the Vermilion Bird stage. A great aura erupted from Ning Kong and locked onto Mulan. He snickered, Mulan, duels on the Vermilion Bird stage are battles to the death with no external interruption allowed. Are you gonna go against the sect rules? Damn it. Despicable. Mulan gritted her teeth while her eyes bulged out. Her movements were locked down by Ning Kong's aura. On the Vermilion Bird stage, Ning Feng attacked crazily. Dai Lu Ming. Demonic Wind Sword Technique World Execution through Wind. Demonic Wind Sword Technique Mad Hurricane Wipeout. Violent winds of sword chi tore through all obstacles and pierced through the air, aiming to hack Lu Ming's head off. He's twice as strong now, so all I can do is just to avoid its cutting edge and look for opportunities to kill him. Lu Ming moved quickly with dragon serpent steps as he blocked the sword chi attack aimed at him. Boom! Boom! Lu Ming could not stop taking steps backward after Ning Feng's 7 to 8 moves. Totally oppressed by Ning Feng, blood trickled down his mouth. Chapter 59. Chapter 59. Killing Ning Feng. Ning Feng actually took the spirit exploding pill. How despicable! Looks like Lu Ming's gonna lose. Amongst those who were watching, some shook their heads and sighed while some smirked icily. Lu Ming was forced to a corner after a few moves. It was getting more and more dangerous for him. At the viewing platform, Mulan barked as she threw a punch at Ning Kong. Scram, Ning Kong. Mulan, are you gonna break the sect rules as a chief elder? Ning Kong matched Mulan's palm technique as he snapped. Fortunately, both Mulan and Ning Kong were extremely careful with their strength. If not, the viewing platform would have crumbled to pieces. Disgusting. Feng Wu, Yuan Hui, and their group shrieked, but they were blocked by the troop that Ning Kong brought with him. On the Vermilion Bird stage, Ning Feng's attacks swept through like a tornado. They were vicious and brutal. Lu Ming retreated as he fought, but his gleaming eyes were clear as day as he stared intently at Ning Feng. He was looking for an opportunity. Dai, ha dai. Ning Feng cackled. He was oppressing Lu Ming, and he had never felt better. How dare you go against me, you filthy imbecile? How dare you embarrass me by challenging me to a duel? Now, tremble before me and regret. He laughed hysterically. Now. Lu Ming's eyes shone like the sun. He stopped retreating and leaped towards Ning Feng. As he leaped, a blood-red light flashed on Lu Ming as he exploded his blood meridians. This would be his strongest moment. Now that his blood meridians had risen to the 4th level, he could shield him from the attacks he received and increase his strength by 40%. Lu Ming's actions shocked everyone to the edge of their seats. What was Lu Ming doing? Was he that eager to die? Ning Feng was slightly taken aback. He laughed nastily and said, "No matter what you're planning, you're dead meat." Screeching sword chi merged to form a sword chi storm that quickly approached Lu Ming. Boom! However, when the sword chi landed on Lu Ming, he all but shuddered slightly and continued to bulldoze towards Ning Feng. Lu Ming raised his right hand and blocked Ning Feng's long sword with his battle sword. Meanwhile, his left hand threw a heavy punch. It all happened so quickly that Ning Feng had no time to react. Boom! As Lu Ming's punch landed sturdily on Ning Feng's dantian, the force of the punch violently tore through Ning Feng's dantian. Instantly, Ning Feng's chi cyclone vibrated vigorously and was on the verge of exploding. Ning Feng's aura dropped drastically like a punctured balloon and returned to the 7th grade master realm in a heartbeat. It did not stop there as it continued dropping to stop at the top of 6th grade master realm. Ning Feng's cultivation was far from stable since he had just broken through to the 7th grade master realm. Lu Ming's punch severely destroyed the berserk essential chi from his consumption of the spirit exploding pill, and he returned to his 6th grade master realm cultivation level. If it were not for the berserk essential qi from consuming the spirit-exploding pill, Lu Ming's punch would have destroyed Ningfeng's cultivation. Ah! Ningfeng flew backward upon impact as he cried out in despair, landing heavily 10 meters away. Blood spewed out from his mouth. Mu Lan, Feng Wu, Yuan Hui, and Ning Kong were flabbergasted. Everyone present was confounded. What just happened? All they saw was Lu Ming advancing towards Ningfeng instead of retreating. They were just thinking to themselves if Lu Ming had a strong death wish when they saw Ningfeng flying backward with a cry of despair and was now vomiting blood on stage. Feng! Ning Kong was first to react as he bellowed. Astonished, Ningfeng struggled to pick himself up as he yelled, How are you still alive? He knew his attacks had landed on Lu Ming, but the latter seemed fine, like nothing had happened to him. Now it's my turn. Lu Ming stepped out. His eyes were steely cold as his sword swung toward Ningfeng. Ningfeng was paralyzed with fear as he robotically raised his sword in the attempt to shield himself from the attack. He was injured, and he only had a 6th grade Master Realm cultivation, thus he was no match for Lu Ming at all. All it took was one attack for Ningfeng to retreat quickly and fearfully while vomiting blood. All you had was a few more years of cultivation, Ningfeng, and you thought that was enough to make me regret my decision and shake me to the core? You are so far off. Now, let's send you on your way. While Lu Ming slowly sauntered towards Ningfeng, a cold smile hung on his lips as ice-cold killing intent shimmered in his eyes. On the viewing platform, Ning Kong bellowed, How dare you? Stop right there, Lu Ming. Stop. Lu Ming threw a glance at Ning Kong as he replied unemotionally, When Ningfeng had the upper hand, why didn't you ask him to stop? What's wrong with your brain for you to be ordering me to stop now? When Lu Ming was done, he hacked his sword towards Ningfeng again, ignoring Ning Kong in the process. Clang! Clang! Ningfeng could hardly block Lu Ming's attacks. When his body gave way, he violently shuddered as his sword fell out of his hands. That it? Save me! Ningfeng shrieked as he scrambled to save himself from the impending doom. Lu Ming, how dare you continue attacking? That! Ning Kong roared with rage as he swooped in like an eagle, making his way to the vermilion bird stage. Mulan moved and followed closely behind him. She threw a palm attack towards Ning Kong. However, Ning Kong turned behind and retaliated with a thrust-out palm. Both palms collided while they fought in the air. Boom! A resounding boom followed by a strong gust of force that came from both Mulan and Ning Kong's attacks broke out. Both of them landed on the ground in a swing. Right after landing, Mulan stood in Ning Kong's way. Piss off, Mulan! Ning Kong roared. Mulan smiled coyly and said, Ning Kong, duels on the vermilion bird stage are battles to the death with no external interruption allowed. Are you gonna go against sect rules? Ning Kong's face twisted and contorted with rage. He was so angry that he nearly vomited blood. That was exactly what he told Mulan a while ago, and she just dished it all back to him word for word. I don't care. Piss off! Yelled Ning Kong. What thick skin you have on this old, wrinkly face of yours, Ning Kong. Do you want to go there? No way. Mulan's aura locked him firmly in place. Mulan was so pleased when she saw how contorted Ning Kong's face was. Ugh. Ningfeng let out an anguished cry yet again on the vermilion bird stage. Lu Ming punched him squarely on his stomach and broke a few ribs. Ningfeng lay limply on the ground, heaving blood. With one foot firmly on Ningfeng's torso, Lu Ming leered coldly at Ningfeng. Don't kill me, Lu Ming. I beg you. Don't kill me, please. Ningfeng cowered in fear as he begged loudly for his life. Lu Ming, if you dare kill my son, I will destroy you. Ning Kong burned with anger. He wanted so badly to rush up to the stage, but Mulan would not leave him alone. I'm waiting, old man. Lu Ming smiled mirthlessly and swung his sword without hesitation. No! No! Ningfeng and Ning Kong shouted in unison. Slash! Blood spattered all over the vermilion bird stage. Ning Feng held his severed neck tightly with regret, fear, and anger in his eyes, and plopped on stage with the life draining out of him. Creator's thoughts. From February 15, 2020, coins spent on books that aren't selected will be refunded within 30 days. However, fast passes will not be refunded. The selected book will have a mark on the corner of the book cover in 30 days to indicate continuation. Thank you for your understanding. Chapter 60. Chapter 60, Silavir-robed Elder's Appearance. Silence. There was pin-drop silence. Everyone stared in shock as they struggled to comprehend what they had just seen. Lu Ming had killed Ning Feng in front of Ning Kong, totally disregarding Ning Feng's threats. He was extremely reckless and insufferably arrogant. Many senior apprentices gazed at Lu Ming, and fear trickled down their spines. What a savage! Lu Ming was brutally savage towards his enemies and was equally savage toward himself. Feng, little bastard, I'll chop you into 1,000 million pieces. Ning Kong was red with rage as he thrashed around like a ferocious, angered beast. Boom! Boom! As he continued to fight Mulan, waves of pressure lapped everywhere. The booming sounds were so loud that they threatened to deafen the ears. Those with lower cultivation levels staggered backward. Their faces paled as the resounding booms injured them. He wanted to kill me, so he should have been prepared to be killed, Lu Ming spoke quietly. You little bastard, how could you compare to Feng? If Feng wanted to kill you, you should have let him. How dare you retaliate? How dare you fight back? How dare you kill Feng? I'll skin you alive and break all your bones. Ning Kong was blind with rage as he continued to fight. Ning Kong, how dare you disregard the sect rules? Mulan seethed. What sect rules? What bloody sect rules? Can it compare to my Feng? Rage flowed through Ning Kong's veins like lava as it completely consumed him. Lu Ming shook his head. He had nothing to say to people like this. He then looked up into the skies and muttered, "It's time to step in now, don't you think?" As soon as Lu Ming was done, a voice bellowed from above, "Are you crazy, Ning Feng? Stop this at once." A Silavir-robed elder appeared in the skies, pressed his hand down midair, and a tremendous pressure suppressed Ning Feng immediately. Boom! Ning Feng was helpless under that tremendous pressure. He was immediately pressed down flat on the ground, and no matter how he struggled, he could not move an inch. It's a Silavir-robed elder. A Silavir-robed elder was watching all along. All other apprentices yelped in surprise when they saw the elderly man. Elder Lu, you've got to give me justice. This little bastard Lu Ming killed Feng. Ning Kong raged. Battles on the Vermilion Bird stage are battles to the death. Since it's a battle to the death, how is Lu Ming wrong? You, on the other hand, Ning Kong, how dare you openly disregard sect rules? The longer you live, the more unreasonable you become. Follow me back now, face a wall, and think of how wrong you are. If you can't think of any faults, don't come out. With a wave, a formidable force was emitted from the Silavir-robed elder and it swept Ning Kong off his feet. Both of them transformed into a shooting star, disappearing from sight. After the Silavir-robed elder took Ning Kong with him, Lu Ming smiled. He had not exactly killed Ning Feng in front of Ning Kong recklessly and without thought. Firstly, Ning Feng kept finding fault with him and sent people to kill him, so Ning Feng deserved to die. If Lu Ming were to spare his life, more trouble would come his way. Secondly, Lu Ming knew that there would be Silavir-robed elders watching nearby. He exhibited his talents, potential, and worth through this battle. As a month-old new apprentice, Lu Ming was capable of killing a 7th-grade Master Realm senior apprentice. The higher management of the Vermilion Bird Hall would definitely appreciate such talents. So, how would they have allowed Ning Kong to kill him? Even without Mulan, Ning Kong would have still failed to kill Lu Ming. Things were as Lu Ming predicted. Thank you for helping Lu Ming, Elder Mulan. Lu Ming cupped his fist to thank Mulan. You're not bad. Mulan smiled. I'll make a move now then. Lu Ming nodded as he got down from the Vermilion Bird Hall and disappeared into the crowd. News about Ning Feng and Lu Ming's duel spread like wings in the Vermilion Bird Hall and across the other halls. Lu Ming could not care less. He went back to his dorm right away and sat in a lotus position. Waves of pain came from his body as he smiled bitterly. He had been badly injured in the duel. When Ning Feng's fighting abilities increased drastically after he ate the spirit-exploding pill, Lu Ming was injured when he tried his best to block Ning Feng's attacks. Later, Lu Ming tackled Ning Feng head-on after he exploded his blood meridian. Even after devouring 50% of the attack, the remainder injured Lu Ming even more. I guess I'll have to buy a defensive spiritual weapon like soft armor or something. I'll also have to cultivate some defensive martial arts technique, or I'll keep getting hurt like that, Lu Ming uttered sourly. Even if his exploded blood meridian was extremely powerful, he could still be injured by forcefully taking on attacks head-on. His body was too weak. Other than the protective essential qi, Lu Ming had no other way of protecting his body. I'll treat my injuries first. Lu Ming shook his head and started cultivating the true War Dragon technique to activate his blood meridians so that he could treat his injuries. Whoosh, whoosh. Spiritual energy gathered into a vortex shape and gushed towards him at an alarming speed. Lu Ming's spiritual energy absorption rate was at least 2 times faster since his blood meridian had advanced to the 4th level. It was far beyond the speed of the 5th level blood meridian. It was about the speed of a 7th level blood meridian, Lu Ming reckoned. This was an astonishing speed indeed. However, Lu Ming needed 9 times more ordinary essential qi to cultivate the 2nd stage of the true War Dragon technique, so by absorbing spiritual energy alone, his cultivation speed still could not compare to 5th level blood meridian geniuses. Spiritual energy continued to gather and transformed into pure essential qi, trickling into Lu Ming's muscles, bones, and intestines, nourishing and repairing him and healing his injuries. After 5 hours of cultivation, Lu Ming opened his eyes. He felt a lot better and would be completely healed in 2 days. Smells good. A delicious roast meat aroma wafted in from outside. Who's roasting meat outside? Lu Ming opened the door curiously and made his way outside. In the yard, Pang Shi and Hua Qi were roasting meat. Pang Shi was overjoyed when he saw Lu Ming and said, "Senior brother Lu Ming, you're done cultivating. Come now, let's eat. This is blood antelope meat. It's delicious and good for injured people since it helps replenish qi and blood." Lu Ming was touched. "Did you guys prepare this for me, Pang Shi? Blood antelope meat isn't cheap." "I could never afford it." Pang Shi scratched the back of his head sheepishly and said, "Mr. Starry-Eyed bought all these just for you. I used to hunt, so I'm good at roasting meat. Therefore, my task is to roast meat." Hua Qi commented stoically, "Don't you misunderstand, Lu Ming. I didn't do this just to help you heal because I'll definitely defeat you. If you had any repercussions from your current injuries, what fun would it be for me?" What a sharp tongue. Pang Shi pursed his lips. "Hey, Big Stone, don't call me starry-eyed. I'm warning you," Hua Qi barked. "But that's your name. How else should I address you?" Pang Shi was confused. "You," Hua Qi stuttered. "Ha." Lu Ming chuckled and bit into a gleaming golden brown piece of roast meat. It was tender and fragrant, absolutely top-notch, and very mouth-watering. After he swallowed it, a wave of calming warmness flooded the entire body. The blood antelope, which was a 5th-grade 2nd-level demonic beast, was tender, juicy, and replenished one's health, so it was extremely beneficial for the injured. Creator's thoughts. From February 15, 2020, coins spent on books that aren't selected will be refunded within 30 days. However, fast passes will not be refunded. The selected book will have a mark on the corner of the book cover in 30 days to indicate continuation. Thank you for your understanding. Chapter 61. Chapter 61. Accepting the Mission. Lu Ming's mouth was full of oil and he finished a piece of roasted meat in a few moments. Big Rock, your roasting skills are pretty good. Lu Ming praised. Haha, I've been hunting since I was a child and I also like to eat meat. I figured it out by myself. Pang Shi laughed heartily. Then he took out a jar of wine and said, Come on, Lu Ming. This is a medicinal wine bought by a love-struck fool. It's not harmful to injuries, but you can't have meat without wine. Come, then let's drink to our heart's content. Lu Ming said with a smile. The three of them each had a jar of wine, eating meat in big mouthfuls and drinking wine in big bowls. A few hours later, the three of them finished off the blood antelope. The three of them had also finished a few jars of wine. Pang Shi and Hua Qi were both drunk. Hua Qi's sour face also disappeared after he got drunk. He put his arm around Pang Shi's shoulder and shouted, You bunch of bastards, I will definitely return in the future. I will kill all of you bastards. Senior brother Lu, you're amazing. Pang Shi cried out. I knew you would win. I want to become someone as amazing as senior brother Lu. That way, my parents will be proud of me. As the two of them talked, they fell asleep in the courtyard. Lu Ming smiled and walked unsteadily into the room. He then started to circulate the true war dragon technique. After a while, the effect of the alcohol completely disappeared. Lu Ming continued to channel his energy to heal himself. The medicinal effects of the blood antelope meat and the medicinal wine circulated throughout his body and Lu Ming's injuries recovered even faster. In the blink of an eye, 2 days had passed and Lu Ming's injuries had fully recovered. After his injuries were healed, Lu Ming did not slack off and continued to cultivate. This was because he knew that the dangers and difficulties he would face in the future would only get bigger and bigger. Ning Kong and the Duanmu family were mortal enemies. They would definitely not let him off. Therefore, he had to improve his strength as soon as possible. 10 days later. This way of cultivation is too slow. With my rich and condensed true qi, it'll take me at least a year to reach the 6th grade master realm. Lu Ming was deep in thought. Resources, I'm lacking resources. Lu Ming sighed. Right now, he was penniless. All he had on him was the storage ring that he had obtained from Duanmuju. Moreover, he still owed Mulan 3,000 contribution points. I have the Supreme Shrine, so the storage ring is useless to me. I'll exchange this storage ring first, then take on some missions and earn some contribution points. Lu Ming made up his mind and headed to the contribution hall. This storage ring was only the lowest grade and was worth 150,000 taels of Esilavir. However, in the contribution hall, it was only worth 130,000 Esilavir. After all, the mystical sword sect had so many disciples that it would require a large amount of resources to operate. Therefore, the price of materials and items collected by the contribution palace was lower than the market price. This way, he could earn a difference in price. 130,000 taels of Esilavir, all exchanged for contribution points, a total of 1,300 points. Senior, I would like to ask, how many contribution points do I need to view a yellow rank upper-level defensive martial arts technique? Lu Ming asked. Martial arts? Martial skills can be found in the book collection hall, but let me tell you, martial skills can only be rented. For a yellow rank upper-class defensive martial skill, it would cost at least 5,000 contribution points to rent it once. What? 5,000 contribution points? Isn't that too expensive? Lu Ming almost jumped up. Defensive martial skills are much rarer and more precious than offensive martial skills and movement martial skills, so of course they are expensive. If you were to buy them outside, you would need at least a few million taels of Esilavir. The old man from the contribution hall said. Lu Ming was secretly speechless. However, on second thought, it made sense. The Lu clan was such a large clan, but they only had one yellow-grade upper-level martial arts technique, which was regarded as the clan's treasure. One could only imagine how precious a yellow-grade upper-level martial arts technique was. It seemed like he'd better put defensive martial techniques on hold for now. Senior, are there any defensive soft armors to exchange for? Lu Ming asked again. Of course we have soft armors. However, defensive armors aren't cheap. What grade do you want to exchange for? The old man asked. How many contribution points do I need to pay for lower level 2 and medium level 2 respectively? Lu Ming asked. An ordinary lower level 2 soft armor costs 800 contribution points, and a medium level 2 one costs at least 2000 contribution points. Then I'll exchange for a lower level 2 item. Lu Ming had no choice but to exchange for a lower second level soft armor. However, you get what you pay for. The 800 contribution points were not wasted. The red Kylan snake armor was made of the skin of a class 9 level 2 demonic beast. It was light, soft, and tough. It didn't feel like it was inside the clothes. After Lu Ming kept the red Kylan snake armor, he walked out of the contribution hall and headed to the Hall of Missions. He found a place with no one around and changed into a black cloak, covering everyone. If he wanted to take on a mission, he had to be on guard against the Duanmu family. If he went out on a mission and the Duanmu family sent a few great martial master experts to kill him, he would not be able to fight back. There was no harm in being careful. Very soon, Lu Ming arrived at the Hall of Missions. The Hall of Missions was the place where the mystical sword sect issued and accepted missions. The Hall of missions were roughly divided into two types. The first type was missions issued by the mystical sword sect's disciples and elders, and each mission would give a corresponding reward. The other type were missions that were specially collected from outside the mystical sword sect. For example, the mystical sword sect would collect all the missions that the Lu family had issued. The Hall of Missions would collect a fee for the completion of the mission. The Hall of Mission was very wide, and it took up even more space than the contribution hall. After walking in, they found themselves in a huge hall. On one side of the hall, there were counters where missions were handed over. On the other side, there were a few huge metal walls. These metal walls were made by inscription masters. On the metal wall, there were missions that were constantly rolling. The details, time limits, rewards, and so on were clearly written on these missions. Lu Ming stood under the screen and watched. To collect blood Reiki flowers? Suddenly, Lu Ming's eyes lit up. He saw a mission that he was rather interested in. It was a mission issued by an inscription master of the mystical sword sect. He only needed to collect the blood Reiki flowers within 3 months. The reward was 100 contribution points per blood Reiki flower, the more the better. The blood flower was located in the eastern part of the Blazing Sun Empire and could only be found in the Dark Blood Mountain. Moreover, the price of the blood flower itself was not even 100 contribution points. It seemed that the inscriber was in urgent need of it, which was why he offered such a high price. Most importantly, there was a type of dark blood stone on the Dark Blood Mountain. It was one of the main materials for cultivating the 3rd stage of the true War Dragon technique. It was even needed for the 4th stage. This was the reason why Lu Ming was interested. Going to the Dark Blood Mountain would kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Let's see if there are any other missions. Lu Ming continued to read. Chapter 62. Chapter 62. Chapter 62 Monsters. Escort Mission? The reward has actually reached 100,000 taels of Esilavir, and he is also heading to the Dark Blood Mountain. After a while, Lu Ming's eyes lit up again. He saw an escort mission issued by the Zhu family of the city of Crossing Sky. The reward for escorting one person to the Dark Blood Mountain was 100,000 Esilavir taels. This one. Without any hesitation, Lu Ming decided to accept this mission. Because it happened to be on the way. After that, Lu Ming walked to a counter and registered the 2 missions that he was going to take. This is the mission token issued by the Zhu family. Please keep it well. At the counter was a young lady with a sweet smile. She handed Lu Ming an iron plate with the word "Tu" written on it. Thank you, he said. Lu Ming took the metal piece and smiled. He then turned around and left. 2 hours later, on the main road of the mystical sword sect's mountain gate, Lu Ming rode his green scale horse and left. 5 days later, travel-worn Lu Ming arrived at the sky-crossing city. The sky-crossing city was a large and majestic city, several times larger than Fiery Wind City. The streets were bustling with people. The Zhu family was known as the #1 family in the sky-crossing city. However, Lu Ming was not in a hurry to go to the Zhu family's residence as the time was set for tomorrow. There was still 1 day left. There was no hurry. Lu Ming found an inn and cleaned himself up. Then, he took a tour around the city and got a taste of its local customs. The next day, Lu Ming headed to the Zhu family. The Zhu family's courtyard walls were high and many times more majestic than the Lu family's. Stop right there. This is the Zhu family's residence. Unauthorized people are not allowed to enter. There were 4 strong men guarding the Zhu family's gate. They blocked Lu Ming's way. Each of the 4 men had the cultivation of a 9th-grade warrior realm. I'm here to complete a mission. Lu Ming smiled and took out the mission card issued by the Zhu family. As expected, the brawny man in the lead took a look and cast a surprised look at Lu Ming. He seemed to be surprised that Lu Ming was so young. Come with me. The brawny man in the lead returned the mission card to Lu Ming and led the way inside. Lu Ming followed. After going around here and there, he arrived at a large hall. Walking into the main hall, he found that there were already some people sitting on both sides of the main hall. There were a total of 7 people. These 7 people were all different. On the right side of the hall, there were 3 people, 2 men and 1 woman. They were all around 50 years old. All 3 of them were wearing black robes with skulls on them, and they exuded a gloomy aura. On the left, a red-haired brawny man in his 40s or 50s was sitting at the head of the table. Beside the brawny man were a man and a woman. The man was an old man with white hair and the woman was a middle-aged woman in her 30s. At the very bottom was a young man in his 20s. This man was hugging a long sword, looking like a noble son. As soon as Lu Ming arrived, the 7 people in the hall looked at him in unison. When they saw Lu Ming's age, they looked at him with disdain. Young hero, they are the people who accepted the mission this time. You can wait here. My master will be here in a moment. The burly man said. All right. Lu Ming nodded and walked in. He sat down next to the 3 people in skeletal robes. A little brat who hasn't even grown his hair has actually come. He must have gone crazy thinking about money. He actually came to accept this mission. At this moment, a low sneer came from the red-haired brawny man. Lu Ming's eyes flickered. He looked at the red-haired brawny man, then smiled faintly and ignored him. You're really gutless. The red-haired man sneered. Seeing that Lu Ming did not even dare to talk back, the rest of the people looked at him with disdain. Haha. At this moment, a loud laugh was heard. A burly man in his 40s walked in and cupped his fists. I've made everyone wait for a long time. I'm the 2nd elder of the Zhu family, Zhuchuan. It's my pleasure to meet you. You're too polite, 2nd elder. These people responded with cupped fists. Zhu Chuan walked up to the top of the hall and said, All right. The Zhu family has issued a total of 8 mission tokens this time. Now that everyone is here, I'll briefly explain the contents of this mission. I won't hide it from you all. The main reason I'm here is because the ancestor of my Zhu family was seriously injured in the Dark Blood Mountain. I need the blood of the direct descendants of the Zhu family to save my life. I also need a vitality supplement pill. Therefore, I'm here to escort the eldest miss of the Zhu family and the vitality supplement pill in her hands to the Dark Blood Mountain. Because there are many powerful bandits and mounted gangsters on the way to the Dark Blood Mountain, I need everyone to escort them. As long as you send the people and the pills to the ancestor of my Zhu family, it will be enough. The reward is 100,000 Esilavir taels per person. Do you have any other questions? Zhu Chuan's gaze swept across the 8 people in the arena. There's a problem, of course there's a problem. The red-haired man stood up and said, 2nd elder, I would like to ask if you've tested the strength of these 8 people? Zhu Chuan was taken aback. No, but you're Wu Emo the Bloody Hand, and these 3 are the famous 3 ghosts of Mount Yin. They're famous in more than 10 big cities. Everyone knows them. I'm naturally aware of the strength of the 3 ghosts of Mount Yin. I'm just afraid that one of them is just here to make up for the numbers. If he doesn't have much strength and can just freeload off to earn 100,000 taels of Esilevu, why don't we do this? The 3 ghosts of the Yin Mountain and I will be in charge of this mission. The rest of you, get lost and split the Esilevir with the 4 of us. That's even better. Wuemo said with a cold smile. Bang! As soon as Wuemo finished speaking, the noble young master slammed the table and said with a cold face, Wu, who are you asking to get lost? Hee. Wuemo sneered and said, I'm calling you. Can't you tell? Damn it, you 2 still wet behind the ears want to borrow my strength to earn 100,000 taels of Esilevir? No way. After saying that, he glanced at Lu Ming and said disdainfully. The noble young master's face turned completely cold. He said coldly, Blood Hand Wuo, I think you don't want your hands anymore. Buzz. Wuo suddenly stood up and looked at the noble young master coldly. I'm going to cripple you today just because of what you said. Who? As soon as he finished speaking, Wu Emo struck his palm at the young master. His palm quickly turned red as he did so, and the smell of blood permeated the air. What a powerful bloody handprint. Wu Mo's bloody handprint has reached a higher level. The white-haired old man's face changed. 6th grade Master Realm Early Phase Cultivation, Yellow grade Low-level Martial Arts Technique, but only cultivated to the 3rd level, Mastery through Comprehensive Study. Lu Ming cast a glance at Wu Mo. He could see the details of Wu Mo's cultivation level at a glance. You're looking for death. Swish. The noble young master shouted coldly. He unsheathed his sword and stabbed it toward Wu Mo like a bolt of lightning. The speed of the sword shocked Wu Mo. He hurriedly retreated to avoid the sword. However, the next moment, rays of sword radiance shot toward Wu Mo. The sword light was as smooth as flowing water. Middle 6th grade Master Realm Cultivation, 4th stage of Yellow level Lower class Sword Technique. Lu Ming's gaze flickered. He didn't expect this noble young master's cultivation to be so strong. Chapter 63. Chapter 63, A Soft Persimmon. Flying Cloud Sword Technique. You are a disciple of the Flying Cloud sect. Stop. Blood Hand Wu Emo cried out in alarm. You think I'll stop just because you say so? The noble young master sneered. His sword light did not stop, forcing Wu Emo to retreat. Poochie. In the end, the noble son's sword light left a long wound on Wu Mo's arm, and blood flowed out. At this moment, the noble young master sheathed his sword and stood up. He said proudly, This time, I'm just teaching you a lesson. Next time, you'll die. Remember, I'm the core disciple of the Flying Cloud sect, Su Feiyun. What bloody hand? You're just trash in the eyes of the Flying Cloud sect. So he's a core disciple of the Flying Cloud sect. No wonder he's so strong. This Wu Mo is just asking for it. Lu Ming came to a realization. He shook his head and smiled. In the eastern part of the Blazing Sun Empire, the mystical sword sect was naturally the supreme overlord. However, there were a few other sects besides the mystical sword sect. These sects were naturally much weaker than the mystical sword sect, but they were much stronger than some itinerant cultivators or small clans. The Flying Cloud sect was such a sect. Phew. Wu Mo's face turned pale after being berated by a young man in his 20s. However, he didn't dare to lose his temper at Su Feiyun. He suddenly looked at Lu Ming and said coldly, Kid, why did you shake your head and laugh just now? Are you laughing at me? A little bastard like you dares to laugh at me? I'm going to kill you. Who? Then he struck his palm at Lu Ming. Since he had lost face in front of Su Feiyun, he would get it back from Lu Ming. Lu Ming's gaze turned cold. A sneer hung at the corners of his lips. He looked at Wu Mo's palm and did not move. Die. Wu Mo's lips curled into a cold smile. This kid is scared silly. One of the 3 Yin Mountain ghosts shook his head. At this moment, a sword light burst out. The snow-white sword light cut through the air. It was faster and colder than Su Feiyun's sword light. Pucci! A flash of blood appeared, followed by Wu Mo's shrill scream. Ah, my hand! Wu Mo screamed as he retreated. One of his hands had already disappeared. His palm was, of course, cut off by Lu Ming's sword. Such a fast sword, such a ruthless method. The hearts of the people in the hall trembled. They all looked at Lu Ming with grave expressions. He looked like he was only 15 or 16 years old, but he was able to cut off Wu Mo's palm with a single strike. What a terrifying strength. Ah, who are you? Who the hell are you? Wu Mo cried out mournfully. Mystical Sword Sect, Lu Ming. If you want to take revenge, you can find me at the Mystical Sword Sect. Now, get lost. Lu Ming shouted. What? The Mystical Sword Sect. The others were all shocked, and then they came to a realization. So he was a disciple of the Mystical Sword Sect. No wonder he was so powerful. Even Su Feiyun, who had a proud expression, became honest at this time. A disciple of the Mystical Sword Sect? Ha, I admit defeat. Wu Mo laughed bitterly. To him, the Mystical Sword Sect was a giant. If he did not want to die, he would not be able to seek revenge from Lu Ming in this lifetime. Wu Mo picked up his broken hand and rushed out of the hall, disappearing from sight. The Mystical Sword Sect. Above the hall, the second elder's eyes flickered. No one knew what he was thinking. So it's the young hero of the Mystical Sword Sect. I've been disrespectful. The white-haired old man cupped his hands and said courteously. After that, the others also stood up and cupped their fists. Lu Ming smiled faintly, returned the greeting and sat down. I didn't think that there would be a hero from the Mystical Sword Sect this time. I didn't even know that the Mystical Sword Sect had collected the Zhu family's mission token. But this is even better. We're even more confident this time. Alright, let's go. Zhu Chuan laughed. The crowd nodded and followed Zhu Chuan out of the Zhu family's residence. Outside, the Zhu family was ready. A carriage, dozens of Zhu family guards, and more than 10 green scale horses. The one in this carriage is our Zhu family's eldest miss. Zhu Chuan said. Everyone nodded their heads and mounted their green scale horses. With Zhu Chuan's command, the dozens of green scale horses let out a rumble, and the group headed towards Dark Blood Mountain. Zhu Chuan was with them. It was more than 10 days' journey from the sky-crossing city to the Dark Blood Mountain. Everyone hurried during the day and rested at night. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. These 3 days were very peaceful, because being close to the Dark Blood Mountain was the most dangerous. Because it was close to the Dark Blood Mountain and the terrain was desolate, there were all kinds of bandits and horse thieves in hiding. On the 4th day, late at night, Lu Ming sat cross-legged in a temporary tent, meditating and cultivating. Suddenly, a shrill scream was heard. In the quiet night, it was particularly abrupt. Buzz! Lu Ming opened his eyes instantly and dashed out like a gust of wind. Buzz! And NBSP, Bush. It was obvious that he was not the only one. The others were alarmed as well, and they all rushed towards the source of the sound. It was a huge tent, and the carriage of the Zhu family's eldest miss was parked here. Lu Ming, the Yin Mountain's 3 ghosts, Su Feiyun, and the rest had reached it almost at the same time. Outside the tent, a figure was lying on the ground. It was the white-haired old man. However, his heart had been pierced by a short spear, and he was no longer breathing. Everyone frowned. These days, everyone had gotten to know each other. This old man was called Chen Xan, and he used a short spear. And now, this old man's heart had been pierced by his own short spear. What's going on? Zhu Chuan rushed over and his expression changed when he saw this. Uncle Fu, what's going on? Zhu Chuan shouted. An old man with a hunched back walked out of the tent. He was trembling as he said, "Second elder, I don't know what's going on. Just now, I suddenly heard a scream and was so scared that I didn't dare to come out to check. Then you came." There are almost no traces of a fight here. Although Chen Xian's cultivation isn't very high, he is at the peak of the 5th grade master realm. Who could make Chen Xian so defenseless that he could kill him with his own short spear? The leader of the Yin Mountain 3 ghosts said with a grave expression. The others were also frowning and thinking. Could it be the Zhou family? Zhu Chuan's expression suddenly changed. Zhou family? What Zhou family? Su Feiyun asked. I won't hide it from you all. Our Zhu family has an archenemy, the Zhou family. The Zhou family and the Zhu family have been fighting openly and secretly for decades. Both of them want to destroy each other. This time, if the Zhou family knows that the ancestor of our Zhu family is seriously injured, they might send someone to stop us from escorting the pills. Zhu Chuan explained. There's such a thing? Second Elder Zhu, your Zhu family didn't mention this when you issued the mission, and now you've added a week out of nowhere? No, I think this mission still needs to be discussed. The leader of the Yin Mountain 3 ghosts said with a changed expression. Not bad. Su Feiyun also nodded. Chapter 64. Chapter 64. Fierce Battle with the Bandits. You guys can't change your mind halfway. Zhu Chuan said with an ugly expression. How about this? Since Wumo has quit and Chen Xian is dead, we'll continue with this mission as long as the Zhu family increases the pay and doubles the reward. The eldest of the 3 Yin Mountain ghosts rolled his eyes and said. Double the price. Zhu Chuan looked troubled. With the price doubled, 6 people would cost 2 million taels of Asilavu. Even if the Zhu family was wealthy, it would still be a huge expense. If you don't, then forget it. The 3 ghost masters of Mount Yin said. Wait, I'll give it to you. Zhu Chuan gritted his teeth. I think we should pay half of the deposit first. Su Feiyun added. Half of the deposit? Zhu Chuan looked hesitant. Second elder, why don't you pay first? The young Mrs. Safety is more important. Said Uncle Fu. This Uncle Fu was the coachman of the Zhu family's eldest miss. Okay, then I'll pay half first. Zhu Chuan gritted his teeth and returned to the tent. He took out a stack of Asilavir notes, each of which was 10,000 taels. He gave Lu Ming and the others 100,000 taels each. Naturally, Lu Ming kept it without any hesitation. In that case, I think we should take turns to be on guard. This is to prevent the Zhou family from ambushing us. The Yin Mountain 3 ghosts all smiled after receiving the Asilavir. Zhu Chuan immediately ordered the guards of the Zhu family to be on full alert. Naturally, someone would deal with Chen Xian's corpse. Lu Ming looked at the tent of the Lu family's eldest young lady, a strange look in his eyes. He had always felt that this matter was very strange. Moreover, they had not even seen the Zhu family's eldest miss for a few days. He had been hiding in the carriage all day, acting all mysterious. Zhu Chuan said that the eldest daughter of the Zhu family was not in good health recently and was afraid of catching a cold. Lu Ming pondered for a while. He discussed with the 3 ghosts of the Yin Mountain and the rest on how to arrange for them to take turns to be on guard. Then he returned to the tent. In the second half of the night, Lu Ming went out to be on guard. There was no movement throughout the night. The next day, they continued their journey. The next few days were peaceful. On the 8th day, everyone was already close to the Dark Blood Mountain. The terrain gradually became desolate. At this point, everyone was on full alert and on full alert. Whoosh! Whoosh! When they passed by a mountain path, sharp air-piercing sounds suddenly came from both sides. A dense wave of arrows was shot at them. Not good, enemy attack, full defense. Zhu Chuan shouted. Lu Ming, Su Feiyun, and the rest had already soared into the sky. Sword radiance flashed and the arrows were cut into 2 in the air. Then, they released their true chi and swept up the broken arrows. The arrows were reflected back at a speed faster than when they were shot. Ah! Ah! Then, a scream was heard. Boom! 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 At this moment, the sound of horse hooves came from ahead, stirring up a cloud of dust. A group of more than 100 people were riding their war horses and rumbling over. A group of people appeared in front of them. They were all strong and burly men, and their bodies were filled with a murderous aura. They revealed that their cultivation was not weak, and ordinary people could not compare to them. Hand over all your treasures and women, and you can get lost. The leader of the group, a burly man with a full beard, shouted. As expected, they had encountered bandits. I think you're the ones who should get lost. Su Feiyun shouted loudly, and his figure pounced out like lightning. His movement technique was very fast. Buzz! Then, a sword light cut through the air and struck at the leading bandit. So powerful! The expression of the leader of the bandits changed drastically. He drew out his large saber and barely managed to block a few moves before he was killed by Su Feiyun's sword. The 9th leader has been killed. Retreat! The other bandits were shocked and retreated like a swarm of bees, disappearing without a trace in the blink of an eye. Aren't these bandits too weak? Su Feiyun walked back and pouted. Young hero Su, it's not that the bandits are weak. It's just that the stronger ones haven't come out yet. The boss of the 3 Mountain Ghosts. They had been in the martial world for many years and knew that these bandits were not as simple as they seemed. Next, be on full alert. Don't be careless. Zhu Chuan ordered. Yes. The guards of the Zhu family responded one after another. Then, everyone continued to move forward. Sure enough, not long after, the deafening sound of horse hooves rang out again. They're here. Everyone knew that the Real challenge was coming. These bandits are truly endless. This time, let me kill them all. Su Feiyun's expression turned stern. Boom, boom, boom. As the dust filled the air, a few hundred people appeared in front of them. So many people? Everyone's heart trembled. A few hundred people, densely packed, stopped in front of them. Who is it that dared to kill my 9th brother? Come out and face your death. The leader of the bandits was 7 feet tall and muscular. He carried a huge machete on his back, and his voice was like a great bell. His aura was oppressive. Great Master, it was that pretty boy who killed him. One of the lackeys pointed at Su Feiyun and shouted. So it's you, pretty boy. Come out and face your death. The Great Master roared. I think you're the one who's going to die. Su Feiyun was proud and arrogant, and yet he was actually looked down upon by a bandit at this moment. Killing intent flashed in his eyes, and he leaped off his green-scaled horse. He unsheathed his long sword and charged towards the Great Master. Kill! Kill! The Great Master shouted, and his tall figure also jumped from his warhorse. The large blade in his hand slashed out a pale blade light. Clang! The blade and the sword clashed. Su Feiyun's body trembled and he was forced to retreat. How can he be so strong? Su Feiyun's expression changed drastically. Trash, kill, kill, kill? And NBSP, the leader shouted and slashed out dozens of times. The astral blade howled and enveloped Su Feiyun's entire body. Flying Cloud Sword Technique. Su Feiyun tried his best to use the Flying Cloud Sword Technique, but he still couldn't block the Great Master. In just 10 moves, Su Feiyun was sent flying, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. The cultivation of the first master had actually reached the peak of the 6th grade master realm. I'll deal with him. The leader of the 3 Mountain Ghosts moved and rushed out. He used an iron rod and ruthlessly smashed it at the bandit boss. As the iron rod smashed down, it made a hoo-hoo sound as if the air was about to be shattered. The leader of the 3 Mountain Ghosts was also a peak 6th grade master realm. It could be said that his cultivation was the highest among them. Clang! The saber and the iron rod collided, and both of them took 3 steps back. I can't believe there's an expert like you. But do you think you can do anything by yourself? Kill them all. The leader of the bandits waved his hand, and hundreds of bandits immediately rushed over. Protect the young miss. Zhu Chuan shouted. Dozens of guards from the Zhu family surrounded the carriage of the Zhu family's eldest miss. Buzz! Lu Ming's eyes turned cold and he rushed out. Whoosh! He performed the lustrous sword technique as fast as lightning. With each strike, several bandits had their throats cut off. Wherever his body passed, blood would flow. Chapter 65. Chapter 65. Chapter 65. All of you have been deceived. Die! A burly man with a huge axe in his hand came slashing at Lu Ming. This burly man had a cultivation of 5th grade master realm. Among the bandits, he was definitely at the leader level. However, a 5th grade master realm was nothing in Lu Ming's eyes. With a slight shake of his body, he dodged the axe. Then, with a flash of sword light, the burly man's throat was cut off. Chi. The sword chi was unparalleled. In the blink of an eye, dozens of people had died at Lu Ming's hands. The other two of the 3 ghosts of Mao Yin and Su Feiyun were in a similar situation. Apart from the chief, the strongest of the other bandits was only at the peak of the 5th grade master realm. They weren't a match for the 3 ghosts. Even if there were many people, it was useless. In just a short moment, hundreds of people were killed. Not good, the enemy is too strong. Retreat! The great master roared. He had exchanged over 100 moves with the 3 Yin mountain ghosts, yet neither of them had won. He knew that he had kicked an iron plate today, so he prepared to retreat. Buzz! Right at this moment, a figure leaped out like a bolt of lightning from among the bandits and pounced towards the carriage of the Zhu clan's eldest young miss. This figure's speed was unbelievably fast. With a wave of his hand, his true energy burst forth. He was actually even more powerful than the first master. 7th grade master realm. The second brother of the Yin Mountain 3 ghosts shouted. The strongest of the Zhu family's guards was only in the 1st grade master realm, and it was impossible for them to contend against such an expert. More than 10 of them were killed by the powerful True Qi. The figure was about to pounce onto the carriage of the Zhu family's eldest miss. At this moment, the coachman, Uncle Fu, let out a long howl. Zhou Linshan, I knew you would come. Following that, Uncle Fu also leaped into the air, erupting with a powerful aura as he exchanged a few palm strikes with the figure from before. Boom! Boom! With a few consecutive booms, the two of them took a few steps back after landing. This coachman is also a 7th grade master realm. Lu Ming, Su Feiyun, and the rest were all shocked. At this time, everyone could clearly see that the figure who launched the sneak attack was an old man in his 60s. Zhu Bing, hand over the vitality supplement pill and Luan. Zhou Linshan shouted. Hand it over, then we'll have to see if you have the ability to do so. The coachman said coldly. At this time, his body was no longer hunched. He stood straight and his aura was threatening. Ta-da! The sound of horse hooves rang out continuously. Following that, a large group of people appeared on the mountain path. There were also silhouettes of people flickering in the surrounding forest. There were a few hundred people in total. They're all experts. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. He could tell that the people who appeared behind them were not bandits. They were all elites, well-trained, and had strong cultivation. The bandits' faces were extremely ugly. The chief shouted, Everyone, your business has nothing to do with us. Can you let us leave? He even wanted to cry. He was simply baffled. Wasn't it just a robbery? Not only did he encounter a bunch of experts, but now there was even a group of them. Zhou Linshan waved his hand and said, Let them go. Immediately, those people opened up a path for the bandits to escape in panic. After the bandits fled, 7 old men walked up to Zhou Shanlin and saluted, Master. The clan leader of the Zhou clan. Lu Ming and the rest moved their eyes and retreated to the side of the carriage. Zhou Linshan, It seems like the Zhou family has turned out in full force this time. The coachman laughed without a trace of fear. Zhu Bing, as the Zhu clan's old ancestor, you actually played such a trick. Truly despicable and shameless. Zhou Linshan said with a gloomy face. What? The Zhu family's ancestor? This coachman is actually the ancestor of the Zhu family? 3 Yin ghosts, Su Feiyun, and the others were shocked. They looked at the coachman, Zhu Bing, who was also the ancestor of the Zhu family, with a puzzled look. But wasn't the Zhu family's ancestor severely injured and waiting for rescue at the Dark Blood Mountain? Could it be that everything the Zhu family had said was false? There was a glimmer of light in Lu Ming's eyes. Indeed, something was not right. He had been feeling strange about it all along. Zhu Chuan, what's going on? The leader of the Yin Mountain 3 ghosts looked at Zhu Chuan gloomily. However, Zhu Chuan sneered and stood behind Zhu Bing. Everyone, it seems that you've been deceived by the Zhu family. Let me tell you the truth. The person in the carriage is my granddaughter, Zhou Tong. Her father was injured and needed a vitality supplement pill to treat him. She went to buy it, but she was caught by the Zhu family when she bought the vitality supplement pill. Everyone, this matter is a grudge between the Zhou family and the Zhu family. It has nothing to do with you. I hope you won't interfere. No matter how much the Zhu family has given you, I'm willing to compensate you double. Zhou Linshan cupped his fists and said, What? Su Feiyun and the others were a little stunned. The truth was actually the complete opposite of what the Zhu family had said. Zhu Bing Zhuchuan, how dare you lie to us? We, the 3 ghosts of Yin Mountain, are not that easy to fool. The leader of the 3 Yin Mountain ghosts said coldly, his expression extremely unsightly. It was the same for the others. Hee, if I don't do this, how can I lure out the Zhou family and make them come out in full force? Zhu Bing sneered. At this moment, the sound of something breaking through the air came from the surrounding forest. Then, a group of people appeared and surrounded the Zhou family. Zhu Bing, you indeed have an ambush in the dark. However, your Zhu clan and my Zhou clan are on par in strength. Do you think you can destroy my Zhou clan just like that? Zhou Linshan said. Zhu Bing laughed and said, Of course, my Zhu family alone can't destroy your Zhou family. However, with the addition of the few of them, as long as they die together with your Zhou family's elders, will your Zhou family still be my match? Ha! What? Zhu Bing, you actually want us to die together with the Zhou clan's elder? I think you're crazy. Now, give us the rest of the reward, and we'll turn around and leave. I don't want to get involved in the mess between your 2 families. The leader of the 3 Yin Mountain ghosts looked at Zhu Bing as if he was a lunatic. That's right, give me the rest of the Silavir and I can let bygones be bygones. Su Feiyun's expression was also extremely ugly. He had actually been fooled by the Zhu family. He secretly decided that when he returned, he would definitely lead the Flying Cloud sect to teach the Zhu family a lesson. Lu Ming did not say anything. He felt that things were not that simple. You want to leave after giving me Silavir? How can I exterminate the Zhou family if you leave? Zhu Bing sneered. Old Zhu, are you fucking dreaming? Fine, you don't want to give me the Silavir, right? I'll leave now, but I'm afraid you can't bear the anger of my Flying Cloud sect. Su Feiyun was furious. He turned around and wanted to leave. Leave? Can you leave? Now that you're poisoned, you're dreaming if you think you can escape. Zhu Bing sneered. Su Yunfei's body suddenly trembled. He turned around and looked at Zhu Bing in disbelief. You guys, you actually dare to poison me? As for the 3 ghosts of Mount Yin, including the middle-aged woman, their expressions were extremely unsightly. Only Lu Ming remained calm. There was even an inexplicable smile on his lips. That you're tuning in to the Han Li's Immortal Journey YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.